Are you 65 years or older? Good news. Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid Health Insurance Program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income.
Just one more pic, JJ, please.
Oh, Mama, really?
Smile. It's not every day my eldest son graduates.
I couldn't have done it without you.
All without Auntie Jane's generous support.
Here is to Auntie Jane's well-appreciated World Remit money transfers.
World Remit Corporation is licensed as a money transmitter by the New York State Department of Financial Services, as a foreign transmittal agency by the Massachusetts Division of Banks, number FT 1179663, and licensed by the Georgia Department of Banking and Finance, NMLS 1179663, Massachusetts Foreign Transmittal License, FT 1179663.
World Remit, a better way to send money. Download the app or visit worldremit.com.
Are you 65 years or older? Good news. Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid Health Insurance Program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. My name is Alfred Amuzu, and this is the Ghana Agenda for March 5th, 2022. This is the independent edition of the Ghana Agenda, and we'll be assessing Ghana, a country that is 65 years old, and how we are doing from all angles. We look at how we are doing economically, our political dispensation. How is that faring? Are we controlling our citizens from a security standpoint in the best of manners? So that's it's one of the key issue that we'll be looking at today. But we also have a table for discussion absenteeism in Parliament and the special case of Adjo-Asafo. And we'll take a look at what Article 97 has to say about that. Now, we'll also look at Oliver Verma and what he has to say about coup d'etats, and even recently, the lecture we heard from Professor Tuguba, where he also mentioned the fact that Ghana is ripe for a coup. So we are looking at all this in the context of a country that is 65 years old, self-dependent or self-governing for all these years. And at this point, we are still talking about whether we are ripe for coup, whether our economic conditions are not in the best of conditions, which is one of the catalysts or the causes of where we are today, and whether even the mentioning of the word coup itself, it's something that should attract the attention of the security forces. So these issues, I will be joined by my special guests, all my regular panelists in this matter. I already have one of them in the studio in the person of Lifetime Legacy. Is a punctual, on time all the time, and we love him for that. But we'll also be joined by Paul De-Sosoo, who just returned from Ghana recently, so we'll pick his brain on what he saw while he was on the ground, etc., etc. Efamaya, who represents the MPP, will also be joining us, and if we are lucky, we would have Dr. Akto Kwame Fuji, who is Estonian blogger, would also be joining us. So if you haven't already done so, please share the link so that others who may benefit from the program can also join us and participate in this very important conversation. I see a few people already logged on and watching, and I'm grateful. And I'm waiting for you to share the link so others can join. Please, the benefit of this program is that we've seen all the programs for the weekend. We've watched Newsfile, we've watched them all, and we are boiling all that down in one single take. So if you are a fan of those programs, by all means, please go and watch them. But at the end of the day, come and join us, and let's break down some of the things we've heard or some of the things that has been discussed on the other programs so that we can put this on top of all of them. I know my director of ACO Radio, Professor Dr. Edward Ofori, is watching us, and he is testifying to the fact that the Ghana Agenda is the best show on TV. Maybe he's true. Maybe he's, just giving me, his support. But maybe you can test that yourself. Maybe bring your friends so they can come and watch the show for themselves and see if they can judge whether this program is actually the best out there. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick break just so I can see if my guests are in the studio. I think I can see Lifetime Legacy. But again, let me still go back to see if he's ready to go. Also, let me also see if the rest of them are going to be joining. I think I'm just getting a quick... I'm laughing again because Dr. Ofori keeps coming. He's saying this time that it is true. It is true. Share the link so that we can see the best, or share the link so you can witness the best political conversation, discussion on Ghana, on TV, right out of the studios of Ghana Agenda and ACO from Washington, D.C. Again, my name is Alfred Amuzu. Let's take a quick break. When we return, I'll be introducing my guest and again going over the topics that we've tabled for discussion so we can get into the details. We'll be right back.
Just one more pic, JJ, please.
Oh, Mama, really?
Smile. It's not every day my eldest son graduates.
I couldn't have done it without you.
All without Auntie Jane's generous support.
Here is to Auntie Jane's well-appreciated World Remit money transfers.
World Remit Corporation is licensed as a money transmitter by the New York State Department of Financial Services, as a foreign transmittal agency by the Massachusetts Division of Banks, number FT 1179663, and licensed by the Georgia Department of Banking and Finance, NMLS 1179663, Massachusetts Foreign Transmittal License, FT 1179663.
World Remit, a better way to send money. Download the app or visit worldremit.com.
Well, welcome back again. My name is Alfred Amuzu, and as you can see, we are supported by World Remit, the best way to send money to Ghana. So if you are, in the United States, wherever you are, maybe in the United Kingdom, wherever you're watching us from, if you have the need to send money to Ghana, World Remit is the best way to do it, and we are proud to be associated with them. World Remit, your number one means of sending money to Ghana. All right. like I promised you, I have Lifetime Legacy in the studio. So let me bring Lifetime Legacy on and see how he's doing. In the meantime, please share the link. While he's talking, I'm also going to actually do some sharing myself to see if we can have a few more people join us. So Lifetime Legacy, welcome to the Ghana Agenda today. How's your week been? And I see you're looking a lot relaxed in your cabinet office or whatever that is. I'm sure you're on campus today too, because from looking at the background. But how are you doing today, Lifetime Legacy?
Alfred, I'm doing well. The week has been so stressful, but it's always a pleasure to have opportunity like this to meet my colleagues, and then we have issues, discuss issues about our country. It's sometimes so refreshing. So I'm glad to be here once again.
All right, so glad to have you as well. We've been looking forward to this discussion. I know we've been offline for a week or so, just to kind of take care of some personal businesses, but we are back and we are happy to be here again, going into, discussing some of the issues that emerged over the last 2 weeks. I know while we were gone that, Burma War, who we've been talking about, has gone into court. We'll be talking about that today. But in the meantime, the topic I really want us to start with first would be the independence that we've gotten from our colonial masters, in this case, the United Kingdom, since 1957. In other words, 65 years of self-governance. How are we doing? I want us to assess that. In fact, a friend of mine was jokingly sent me a WhatsApp picture a couple of, I think last week or so. And he says, there's a blue pill and a red pill. If you take the red one, you get $1 billion. If you take the blue one, you get the opportunity to bring one person back from, or one person who's been dead. It could be your father or your mother or a loved one or whoever. And my answer to him was, I want to bring back Kwame Nkrumah. I want to bring up Kwame Nkrumah for the mere purpose, just so he can see whether this is what he had in mind when he got independence for us. I want him to help us assess how we've done over the last 65 years and whether we're achieving the dreams that he had in mind when, he actually got us independence. We also have Johnny Wood joining us. Johnny Wood said, glad to see you back. Yes, Johnny, we've just taken just a week off and we are back. Of course, we'll be here. We are not going anywhere. Every Saturday, we'll be here, providing our thoughts and, take on issues that are occurring in Ghana. By the way, Lifetime Legacy, any preliminary words before we start the program so that I can, assess how, you are going to be tackling issues for the day? What are some of the few things or foundations that you want to lay before we jump into the conversation?
Do you want my comment should be on Ghana's independence?
Anything you want to talk about initially while we are waiting for our friends to join? One of the things too is gas prices are going on up in Ghana. And of course that is because remember when we were doing the budget, we were anticipating that gas was going to be $65 per barrel, but now it's almost 100 and above. And that should actually add to our revenue envelope. So, in that context, should we still be worried about e-levy? Also, gold prices have skyrocketed. If you quite recall, I shared an article with you which talked about the fact that the fight in Russia is causing many countries and even people to think again of whether the dollar is a proper way to proper way to save their money, if it's a store of value, if that is the best store value they can actually get for their money. Because imagine that the United States quickly shut Russia out of, the financial system, the SWIFT system, and et cetera. All of a sudden, if you have any, holdings in the Russian currency that is respect to the dollar or wherever, all of a sudden you can have access to it. So should people be turning to buying gold? And so this is some of the things that came up, and gold prices are going so high right now. So something like that should make people in Ghana be excited, even though it's at the back of a tragedy, which we are all concerned about. I still, think that an opportunity has given itself to us, or for us, to be able to increase our revenue targets for the year. What are some of your preliminary comments? I'm just going off anything that comes to mind, anything that happened in the last 2 weeks, just to kind of start the conversation. So whatever you want to talk about, take it away.
Alfred, thank you so much once again, and thanks to our audience who are viewing us and also listening to us. My focus is going to be on Ghana's independence. That is what I'm going to do on first, whilst I wait for my other colleagues to join us whilst we digest the main issues. Now, the question you asked, whether Ghana's independence, the benefits, the up and downs, I would say is that, 65 of a nationhood, if Ghana were to be a human being in Africa by now, it should be on a retirement or be on contract. If it is a government institution, it will either be on contract or be on a retirement by now. Now, how useful have our 65 years as a country been? Well, I would say we had our up and then we had our downs. The up were moments where when we have the likes of the great son of Africa, Nkrumah, in affair. When you look at what he was able to do in a period of 9 years as a president, or in total 15 years, when you add when he was a leader of government business, or the prime minister, when you add accumulated around 15 years, when you look at his achievements, sometimes I sit down and ask myself, how could this man get all these things done at an era where there was no technology advanced as we have it today?
And there was no digitization, right? He did
Absolutely.
all that.
So sometimes when you look at you think of it, it's so marvelous, it's so amazing. And Nkrumah is such a great man. And for me, I feel proud to be a Ghanaian. Anytime you meet your African foes from other countries here, and you introduce yourself as a Ghanaian, the first names that come into mind, it's Kwame Nkrumah, and you are called with some kind of respect,
right?
As a Ghanaian. When you meet people like people from Guinea Conakry and other parts of the world, and the moment you mention the name Ghana, and then the name that comes to mind, it's Nkrumah. And
even it's seen as a relatively peaceful country. Wherever you go, to be honest, it could be Europe, wherever you are, just the mere fact of Ghana resonates with peaceful, democratic, self-respecting, hardworking people. So it is a source of pride to all of us. So I agree with you, yes.
Yeah. So you realize that even when you find yourself in a mix of about 4 or 5 African countries, and the introduction happens, and the moment you say you are from Ghana, there is some kind of joy that comes with it, because when you look at the facial expression and the response from the people, as if Ghana it's the only country in Africa and the rest just follow. Right. It all comes because of the legacy and the good name Nkrumah laid for the country. And sometimes also when it comes to people who are sports inclined, then they begin to mention the names of the Samoajan, Abedipele, and the likes of. I mean, so those who are sports inclined, those are the names they mention. And then sometimes some will even tell you that, Ghana broke our hearts when we were expecting them to win the World Cup in 2010 in South Africa. I mean, so it's kind of some kind of joy, some kind of pride to be a Ghanaian. I am so proud that I don't even hide my identity. I demonstrate it wherever I find myself. How proud I am to be a Ghanaian. When you see my car that I'm driving here, you see a Ghana flag inside, and also so that is how proud I am. And occasionally I dress in my African wear or Ghanaian attire to class, and so just to demonstrate how proudly I am. I am proud because Nkrumah have done it, or in the 9 years as a president, or in accumulated when he was a leader of government business, when you add that one to it, that 6 years to it, that's 15 years. When you look at the things the man did in that period of time, Alfred, I'll quote Professor Patrick Lumumba from Kenya, that law professor. In one of his speech, he said that Ghanaians should ask for forgiveness, most especially those who mastermind and supervise and got involved in the overthrow of Nkrumah. Those people must continuously ask for forgiveness. And I cannot agree with the professor the more. I strongly agree with the professor. He went even further to say that Africa is where it is now because people who overthrown Nkrumah have truncated the vision the man had for Africa. And it is true that the man Nkrumah have no comparison. BBC conducted a research somewhere in 2000 and is still described as the African man of the millennium. And what sometimes looks so funny, it is always said by Christians, a prophet is not respected or is not honored in his home. That is how Nkrumah situation became like. Whilst he's being hailed in all parts of the world and Africa, the people, the nation reckless, people who are anti-Nkrumah, people who, for them, if it is not them, it shouldn't be any other person, brought us where we are as a country today. We started with the likes of the Singapore, the Malaysians. We are where we are today, in as much as we have a peaceful country. I think that if Nkrumah were to be alive, by now Ghana would have been like compared to Malaysia.
If we were to be in charge, Ghana would have been, in a better place than we are currently. That's what you meant to say, right?
No, I use the word alive because even if he's not in power and he's enjoying his peaceful retirement, the man is full of wisdom. He can still be an institution where knowledge and wisdom could still be tapped from.
Right.
So that is why I use the word if he were to be alive and he wasn't overthrown and he went on a retirement peacefully, he will continue to be an asset, not to only Ghana, but the whole of Africa. Right. Somebody says that the difference between the developed world and Africa or Africans, what makes us so unique is that when we elderly people grow, we leave them in the house and then continue tapping their rich knowledge in terms of experience they have gotten in life. Right. Unlike the developing world, like the American and the Western part of the world, when an elderly person grow, they are put in a home.
All right. Okay, so let me bring in. I didn't catch you up or anything. I just wanted to kind of be mindful of time. Let's bring in Paul De-Sosoo as well. Paul, are you able to talk to us? Because we can see your face, but we know that you are, in the studio.
Yes, Alfred, I'm able to talk to you.
Okay, so Paul, the topics we table for discussion is, we're 65 years old as an independent country, governing ourselves, based on the idea that, the black man is capable of, running his own affairs. Would you think that we've been successful doing that for the last 65 years?
Well, thank you very much for having me on the show this afternoon. And I just want to say hello to my co-panelists on the show, and then to say that, yes, the black man is capable of managing its own affairs. But unfortunately, for the last past 6, 7 years, we've seen that, that is not the case. Because when you look at from the independence day, when we attained independence, till
Right.
2016, 2017, when we handed over to this super incompetent government, you could see that Ghana has retrogressed. Instead of it progressing, it is retrogressing. I'm not here to, say that, the NDC government also had to have no fault. They had their fault, but you could see at least that the country was progressing in the right direction. But I can confidently tell you that for the 5 years that this super incompetent government has taken over the affair of this country, of our beloved country, Ghana, we are not seeing progression. We are rather retrogressing. And it's unfortunate, and it is very interesting to have this president who told us that Ghana is beyond aid. But as of now, Ghana has borrowed over 320 something million. Under this government, they've borrowed 241 billion Ghana cedi, and nothing can be accounted for. So how can it be that Ghana can be on its own, or the black man is capable of doing its own or steering its own affair?
But
look, Mr. Muzi,
we do have a lot of problems, like myriads of issues. For instance, we had electricity issues in the past where we are unable to support our country, the country's needs. We had issues currently of big time youth unemployment, etc. You can say all that is something that has been strictly contributed to, or you can blame all that on the current president, would you? And let's work on the fact at the same time.
Mr. Muzo, I am saying to you that let's talk about the electricity sector.
Right.
The electricity sector was developed under the PNDC / the NDC. Most of the electricity that was sent to various as part of the region, now we have 16 regions in Ghana, were done under the previous administration. Right. Can we ask our good friends from the government NPP, how many percentage of electricity have they contributed to the national grid? And it is less than 4%. You understand me? And for them, with
if you look at the traditions, though, you know, the Dankwa tradition, which is the NPP, will say that in the times that they've been in charge, they've introduced things like the Bui Dam, which also contributed to the capacity that we currently have. So it's not like they haven't done anything. That they've done their parts. They've currently extended the transmissions wires, because over years we haven't actually maintained the transmissions or the connections, because especially that we generate our power in the west, but majority of it is used in the east, and they have to be transmitted to the east to support the consumption. That they have improved that. They have extended electricity to the remote areas. In addition to what we've done, like we know the NDC has done a lot of work in that area, but they've also played their part. Would you not agree?
Mr. Muzo, I agree with you. They've played their part, but doing the percentage of, contribution how much they've contributed to the power sector, it's very insignificant. That is what I'm talking about. Look, Mr. Muzo, the Bui Dam, how many power is the Bui Dam generating to the national grid? Can you tell me? The Bui Dam was built under the former president John Ajekun Kufuor, and for me, I don't see any. Usefulness of that dam. That dam is just using, or they are just transmitting less than 200 and something kilowatt of power to the national grid, which is not enough. Right. I'm saying that I'm not saying that they've not done anything. I'm saying that looking at the number of years they've been in power, Kufuor's era with the Bui Dam in operation, talking about this current government, they have not even added 1 megawatt of power to the current generation power. But they are the people who make a lot of noise, who try to throw dust into the eyes of the good people of Ghana, who try to lie to us that they are trying to resolve the power issue. Look, I believe if you give the chance to IFA or any MPP communicator, Ato, Dr. Ato, and any of them, they will tell you that they resolved Doomsaw. And we all know it's on record that Doomsaw was a generation of, previous government, including the PNDC, Mills era, that we did not add to the generation power. When this issue became an issue in 2012, the former president took it upon himself. He did not run away to go and bring turbines and generators to resolve it. He said he was going to resolve it. And we increased the power generation in our country. And now we have enough generation capacity. And there was excessive plan laid down, and money was sourced for us to try to upgrade the transmission lines. What did they do? They messed it up.
I mean, that's one issue, right? Because of course, the country has battled with a lot of things, including youth unemployment. We are still battling with youth unemployment. In fact, this whole coup mongering or this conversation about coup hinders on the fact that we have a whole lot of our youth that are currently unemployed, and that looks like a time bomb. And this is what people describe when they say the economy is not going well. Matter of fact, our constitution provided in Article 69 or so. I'll look for the article and read it to you. But our constitution provides that presidents can be removed when their conduct is inimical to the economy. So even in our constitution, the language is pointing to the fact that as president, you have to actually do something about the economic plight of the people. And we know that the youth unemployment issue has been something that bedeviled us all the way from when? Since 1966 when we did the first coup. So how do you assess that in the context of we progressing as people who are in charge of our own affairs and are doing it well?
Mr. Amuzu, when it comes to the youth unemployment, it's been an issue since ages. We all agree. And successive government have been trying to work to, create direct and indirect jobs. Example, when you take the former administration example, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's era, we invested huge in the construction sector. Right. Look at the buildings that were put up. They created direct and indirect jobs for a lot of people. Instead of this government coming to continue with the project that they were working on that they couldn't complete it, this government decided to suspend all the project, the road construction. They suspended all, and then they said they were going to conduct an audit into these things. Right. At the end of it, they spent $1 billion in conducting this audit. What was the outcome of this audit that they conducted? Waste of money. I am saying if they've had maintained what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was doing and have continued, with the construction sector, infrastructure sector, building more infrastructure, they could have created more direct and indirect jobs. I am saying this afternoon on your show that this government has just come to worsen the plight of the youth unemployment in our country. Why am I saying so? Now, if you look at the youth employment figures, it has gone high than any era.
They've done things like NAPCO. They're even talking about the using part of the e-levy to assist youth entrepreneurs. So how could you say that they have come to worsen the plight of the youth?
Mr. Amuzu, you and I know, they are just throwing that into our eyes. You and I know it. Let's face the reality. Look, I just returned from Ghana just this Tuesday. I got to this country on Tuesday. And look, it is very, 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 very dangerous. As you said, Ghana is sitting on a timing bomb. Looking at the situation, the way things are going, looking at the unemployment rate, looking at living condition, looking at the high living condition, all those stuff, it is very, very, difficult for, you to say that, the youth can rise up against government anytime, any moment, because Mr. Moses, it's really, really dangerous. I was there, I was on the ground. I personally went to taking taxi, Uber, taking Chocho. I just want to see the situation. And Mr. Muzu, I can tell you on authority that Ghana is retrogressing under this super incompetent government. Things are very difficult. The dollar has broken the 8. Gas has broken the 8. Everything is breaking the 8. They are just there instead of them sitting down, calling stakeholders meeting for us to discuss the way forward, how we can all come together and look at the way we can salvage our economy. They are rather there playing propaganda, mischief, which I know my good friend Ifa and Dr. Atu will be playing on this show this afternoon. They'll be throwing dust into our eyes, playing mischief, trying to lie to us right in their teeth. But the living condition in Ghana is so sad, so terrible, so dangerous that if we as a country do not come together to support and look at the way we can help to build our economy, Ghana is sitting on the timing bomb. And I can tell you for a fact that as we speak, I changed some dollars today and I got them 7.3. I left some dollars behind that it should be changed. And when my brother went and changed it today, he got it at 7.3. This is what the dollar has got into. When they were in opposition, what didn't we hear from them, Mr. Muzo? They made a lot of noise. They lied to us. They said they were in charge of if your fundamentals are weak, the dollar will expose you. And my question this afternoon to Dr. Atu, to Efa, and the MPP spokespersons on this show this afternoon is that has the dollar exposed them? Now $1 is going to 7.3. It is so dangerous. Ghana needs to be arrested from the hands of these super incompetent people. These people don't have any direction. And I'm saying on this show this afternoon that until we all come together, until Efa and Dr. Atu, who has now become a political spokesperson of the NPP, until they all admit on this show this afternoon that there is the time for us to come together as a nation. Both NDC, NPP, CPP, PNC, we should all come together, sit on a drawing board, and let's salvage our country. I can tell you, if this thing doesn't resolve within a year or two, Ghana will collapse.
Oh, okay. So hopefully Ghana doesn't collapse. People are telling me that they want to see the face of the guy who's speeding the fire. So if you can, please.
I will give me the next 30 minutes. I will be on my laptop. And
I know where he is. I know where he is. So allow him. Paul, it's okay to be off camera. I know where he is. Okay. So it's okay. Yeah, let them understand.
If I were, am I?
You want me to expose you?
No. It's
okay, don't expose me. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Fa.
Yeah.
All right. So quick messages, and then we can continue. We're gonna bring you a file right after the messages. We have Dr. Ibrahim Mohammed, who says we missed this show so much. Welcome back, Alfred. Thank you so much, Doc, for sticking with us and for being part of the ACO Radio family. We appreciate all you do for us. Also, Kojo Usu Quarantine says 65 years of independence is quite a journey. Let's hope for the best. Yes, we hope for the best. I just want us to bring back Kwame Nkrumah just so he can take a peek at what is going on in the country that he helped obtain independence for. Also, again, Doc came back. Ibrahim Mohammed says, Mr. Paul, so what happened to the affordable housing by President Kufuor when NDC came? You guys seems to be singing same tune every day for Ghanaians. All right. And somebody behind ACO Radio's account says, hey, Paul, they talk, Papa. Of course, Paul is a great spokesperson for the NDC, and I'm sure the party is appreciative of that. Joseph Kwame Nemo Poku says, watching you live at Obuasi, keep the good work going. All right, Joe. Thank you so much. Tell the people of Obuasi that we are behind them. It is appalling that a city as beautiful as Obuasi, where we get all the goats, has still not seen its fair share of development. All right, so let me go to my spokesperson here for the NPP in the person of Efa Amayao, aka Kakape. Kakape, welcome to the show. What we've been talking about so far is we are 65 years old, and it looks like governments after governments have contributed their parts to our development, but not to our expectation. They are not meeting the expectations that perhaps we have for ourselves as a country, or perhaps those expectations that has been set by the first president of the country. We have development plan after development plan that has not been met. And it seems at this point, what we are hearing from our government is we are broke. That chances our salaries may become difficult to pay. Without e-levy, we can't do anything. How do you assess our progress for the last 65 years?
Yeah, thank you very much, Amuzu. And I must say that, I was late, so forgive me for showing up late. And I had to force myself to be in this show because something was going to take my time. And I said, no, I have to make time for this. Now, just you see, this is really coming from my heart. I don't mean to praise you or say anything to to bring you into my favor or something, but I really like your interactive way of don't heckle, but the way you push and ask questions and stuff like that. I love that. So I always want to be around and contribute my quota towards making this show the best in the world, in the world, global. Let's go there. And let us all have that resolution in our minds that when we come here, let's be truthful, let's be accurate. Sometimes we get it off because we're human, right? Let's be accurate. Let's have the professionalism that comes in here that enables this show. We've had an opportunity because you could have chosen someone else other than me, other than Paul, other than Lifetime Legacy. You have a stock of people line up. I know, on the platform, you have a stock of people line up, but you choose us, and when we get the opportunity, I appreciate it so much. And I'm always thankful to you. And I also will encourage our audience. Come. I like the one that you said, the guy that said they missed this program so much. It tells you that we're giving them something. And when they say that, it encourages us to come on the more, to give our best. Sometimes we get it wrong. Forgive us. We are humans. So we can patch in and together get to the destination, right? There may be a bump even on the highway, right? So let's get it that way. So having said that, let's go into this. When we get to the stage where we are discussing something that is devoid of politics, we have to stop coloring it with a political color or mentioning names, and then deal with the issue in such a way that we talk nationally and not mention names. Because the moment we start to credit somebody else and then try to give credit to another one, demonize in something like independence, then we are not going to do justice to the topic. Right? 65 years, we should be ashamed. We can talk about all that. Now, I am a pro-independent person, that a person should have the ability to rule himself, to say this and this and that. Let me give you a case in point. Even beggars have choice. There was one time I was driving, right? I got caught up in the traffic. And there was this guy who was asking for money. Now, I had a bunch in my pocket, right? I was trying to reach out to give him $1 or $2. He saw the 20s and stuff like that. He said, "Why are you passing the 20?"
Exactly. Why are you passing the 20s?
Can you give me this? I looked at him first. I said, this beggar has a choice, right? Right. So I gave him $2 and I said, hey, and after that, I did not do it again. Now, so independence and development are two separate stuff, okay? It is good that we have our independence to be able to decide what I want to do for myself. Now, when you have the independence, you sit down and you plan your life. Any life unplanned will end up at the age of retirement without a house, with nothing, and start begging for stuff. And that is what we've reduced ourselves to. We've had 65 years. We started so well. There was some money that was left us during independence time, right? What did we do? We started well, we managing, and then we got off track. But you see, I don't want to blame Nkrumah. I don't want to blame the successive government, the coup that happened, the government that followed and all that kind of stuff. You see, when we are always standing in the moment of our problems, you never get it solved. What did we learn from Nkrumah? He did something wrong, he did some things right. What did he do right that we could have continued? What did we learn from the coup? Achampon did, Afrifa and Achampon and Kokotoka, they did something right, they did something wrong. What did we learn? Rawlings came, he did something right, he did something wrong. What did we learn? Kufua, Mills, Mahama, they did something right, they did something wrong. What did we learn? Akufo-Addo, he's doing something right, he's getting some things wrong. What are we learning? And how do we proceed? Right? So that is the conversation. We are humans, and we are always not going to get it right. Let me tell you, even free SHS, somebody don't want it. You got to get the things right. But you look at it in that perspective and say, okay, so what is the issue that is bringing the opposition to free SHS? What is it? Can we look at it? Is it a way that we can do something about it? And then government makes a decision, we move on. Okay. So when it comes to unemployment, we have a problem. With unemployment, we have challenge with opening up our country regionally and inner roads and stuff like that. So road is a problem. Infrastructure is a problem. Hospitals is a challenge. Okay. So what I want to see is that, you see, we have two big political parties here talking. Someone says Agenda 111. Can we achieve it? Okay. If we are able to achieve it, it's good, right? So what will you add to that? Free SHS. Maybe the way we are handling it, you don't like it. What is your distinct to that? Employment. Okay, we have the NAPCO. Kufuor's time, we had a youth unemployment where they employ people little, and a host of other stuff. So how are we going to get there? That is the conversation we should have as a country, and not NAPCO is this. I did 5,000 this and I did that and I did that. It is your duty. Mahama said it, that, infrastructure is the duty of the government. Infrastructure is your duty. So why are you, so what? We still need more. So tell me what you can add on to it. Okay. So 65 years, me standing here, we still have more to do. I hate to see our leaders go. I'm not saying this because of, I don't want to mention name. Right? But I hate to see our leaders, unless it is a specialized, a very, very highly specialized medical condition. I want to see them going on routine medical testing outside. No. How about in my village? You see, last year, my family member died because he had a kidney problem. We were going to take him to India, right? It was going to cost about $20,000. By the time we gathered the money, the situation has worsened and he passed. Right. How about him? And the host of other people that are dying every day in our hospitals. In fact, for heaven's sake, the executive and parliament are there to make sure that the people get these things. But what do? They are interested in the loans they're going to get. They are ex-gracious. They how much money and how much V8 and stuff like that they can be in. It is good. We've given you this. But how are you giving us these things? How are you improving upon our schools? Right. And these are the things we do. So when we come here and you're telling me that, okay, we still have some schools that needs to be built. We still have some hospitals, but I did better than you. We still need more. Okay? So we want the discussion to focus. I want the discussion to focus on. And I want us to ask like, oh, so the Agenda 111, where are we now? How many have we started? Right. I don't have the statistics now, but these are the questions that puts us there. Okay. UTAG is on strike. What are we doing about that? Are they going to go back? Because it affects everybody in the country, right? The roads. Okay. E-levy is not passing. What is the alternative? We need the money to continue. If the e-levy doesn't come, the things that the e-levy is going to do, what are we going to do about that? We have a discussion and then we move on. I think sometimes we must move away from, I am an MPP, so I'm going to come and polish my party and demonize the other one. There are specific topics that call for that. We can do that. But when we talk about independence, are we happy with what's happening? You see, listen, Rollins came, Mills and Mahama came. And then you have gone there and you come and tell me that you go to Ghana and you are sad. This is. What did you do about this thing that is not happening? Youth employment and stuff like that. When we begin to talk like that, then it becomes a problem.
It's a continuum, right? So you expect the continuation of the progress. But
exactly. I was there in 2000. I was disappointed, man. The traffic in Accra. Little things that we can do. The unemployment, and stuff like that. We should ask. So that is how the conversation should be. And when we do it like that, believe you me, we will be somewhere. But we try to color, politicize particular stuff. Oh my goodness.
If there's a government that is not pulling, because we say government is a continuum, if there's a government that is not pulling weight, not doing the right thing, in this context, we should still be able to discuss that, don't you think?
So when we come to the specific, we can discuss that. Okay, so let's talk about unemployment, right? Like I'm saying, I had wanted, you see, then be specific if you want to go on that. Kufuor came and he did the youth unemployment, right, where he was recruiting 2 years, putting the kids into police and fire and stuff like that. We came with NAPCO. Maybe somebody will say that, oh, government owes NAPCO. Okay, so government, since when has NAPCO been there? Government owes. Government is going to pay. You got my point? Exactly. So something came in to cushion it. So how can we improve and add on to that? That's what we need. The factories. You know, the factories. We need more of the factories because the ones that we have so far, they are not absorbing the number of unemployed youth and the number of unemployed Ghanaians. So how can we expedite that? I get that conversation and I'm okay. But don't come and say, oh, when it comes to employment, the construction sector and stuff like that. Okay, so Pokwasi is not a construction thing. The construction, the roads and stuff like that, they are not constructions and stuff like that. They are constructions. But you see, if you want to use let me conclude. If you want to use Sagrame, okay, any government that comes, you see, you asked a very important question. Have you heard anything? All the affordable housing project. Did you hear that Kufuor's affordable? There were any challenges with it, but they left it. Those are the issues. That there is a project, there is nothing wrong with it, and then you leave it. No. That one we have to come and fight the government on that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, that's this is why the Ghana agenda is interesting because of the firework that we get here on the week-by-week basis. And again, we are really appreciative of that. So a couple of comments came in so far. Togbi Henyo, who is a chief all the way from Aflao, is saying that great job, folks, and Afa, I'm with you. So, even the chief of the Ketu staff are with you, Afa. which is good. Togbi Henyo, thanks for watching, and we appreciate your support all the time. Johnny Woods came back to say, if Ghana is broke, I suggest we cancel this year's independence celebration as was done in Tanzania a few years back. So, that's a good idea. Perhaps we should cancel the independence celebration to save a little bit of money, right? Because we say we are broke. I don't have a name for this person, but he says the planning of our future as a country was cut short by these same cronies in power today when they selfishly and out of greed overthrew the government in 1966. All right. So you're referring to the people who overthrew Kwame Nkrumah as those who cut short our development agenda, our development plans. Okay. All right, we'll take it. And then Ibrahim came back to say, Mr. Efa, you're saying we need more factories. So what happened to one district, one factory? Can you brief us more? So far, that's a question we're going to have you come to tell us that when you return. My good friend, Elom Nairam, who I went to secondary school with. Thanks for watching the show today, sir. He says, wow, great job. Thanks again. We really appreciate it. Please share the link so others can join. And say my regards to all my good friends in Connecticut. I was with you guys during the Christmas time, and it was a blast. Again, he says first time watching and he's enjoying it. So thanks for watching. We really appreciate you. And then Ibrahim again says, when is the Commander Sugar Factory going to be in operation? Growing sugarcane alone is a way of employment. But matter of fact, the chief came out the other day to say, a land has been acquired and blah, blah, blah. That, is applauding the government for getting the land. But, growing the sugarcane is becoming more difficult than even building the factory stuff. So, these are the issues that we have with our development. And it's appalling. At this point, even though we are proud Ghanaians, sometimes the situation is getting to a point where people are calling for coup. Should they be or should they not be? Let me bring in Dr. Atto. Dr. Atto, you are my neutral. Even though Paul disagrees, but we're going to stick with that. Dr. So you've heard the two politicals, and each of them, of course, FA was a little bit generous with the NDC, saying he doesn't want to make it a political conversation. He wants it to be a national one. He wants us to actually blame the inability to actually progress in accordance with our development plans on both parties equally without necessarily pointing figures. What do you say to that? Do you think we should single out, some of these non-performing parties or non-performing governments and point to what they have done that hasn't actually taken us to the levels we should be? We are a country that should be as great as places like Singapore. The references we always make, even though I have my own disagreements with that, but we should be far further down our development path than we are today. I see you cruising in the city of Gotham, Shot Town to be specific.
My line is breaking up. Can you come again? I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I said I see you cruising in the city of Gotham. And I don't know if you're gonna park somewhere and talk to us, but I'm just saying that.
Yes, I am making a right over here to talk to you.
Okay, so while you are trying to do that, let's say that over the years, program after program have been outlined in our development agenda. You look at the medium-term development agenda, whether it's the long-term development agenda, the Vision 2020s, where we're going to extend electricity to 100% coverage. In other words, have electricity extended to all corners of Ghana, the four corners of Ghana. But that has also not succeeded. We've had so many plans of building factories. Commander Sugar Factory was actually started by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah himself. Got shut down after some, coup d'etats, etc., and John Mahama went and did the rebuilding and didn't provide for the sugar farm himself. And now we are stuck with just having to grow the sugar. So grow the sugar cane for the factory, and that alone is taking for I don't know, it's taking so long to do, and we are currently spending almost $200 million on sugar importation every year. It's just at a time like this when we say the economy is going it's now working well for us. We are still looking for dollars so we can go outside to go bring in sugar when we could be manufacturing sugar in our own country. What do we even manufacture in Ghana? Those are the questions. So should we be having these discussions with a political lens, or do you ascribe to what FA has said about, let's talk about this thing from a national perspective and not necessarily point fingers to the individual governments that may have failed us in the past?
Thank you very much, and apologies. I had to leave the house because normally my kids are home and they try to crash our show. So today I took the errand part on my shoulders.
Absolutely. We really appreciate that. That's a sacrifice you're making for the show, and we are grateful. Thank you so much for that.
And like I say, every time I see Lifetime, it's like he's getting a part of the e-levy. I don't know. He's looking fresh. And
he's getting the e-levy before he passes, right?
Yeah, I know. He's getting some money. He's looking bigger and fresh every day. And I wish I could see Paul too. But
Paul will be taking the camera, getting on camera shortly. Yeah.
Yes. My regards to my brother. If I have to see him, the weather is really nice today. Probably that's why Lifetime is looking fresh as always. And I really listen to Ifa, and I really admire what I agree with what he said. It's like Ifa has been, although he's NPP, there are times he comes over here, he says as it is.
Right.
I mean, Kwame Nkrumah said that the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. But it appears the black man is capable of mismanaging their affairs.
Exactly.
Capable of mismanaging their affairs. I mean, it's rather sad that these days governments come in and then you think about, hey, you actually try to compare them to see who's chopping the money less, who's using the money less. You're not thinking about who is actually improving our lives.
Right.
Rather, it's sad. And I had not traveled until 2007.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in Ghana, I felt so proud as a Ghanaian. I thought Ghana was everything and in and all of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But then you travel and you're like, come on. It's like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's been 65 years. We've not been able to build a road. from Accra to Kumasi. 65 years. 65 freaking years. We've not been able to do that. Up to now, we're thinking about building toilets. We commission toilets. My brother, it's sad. And then we spend
cathedral, building cathedral.
It's like, if you travel, then you know that you understand that, man. It's like so we have come far as of age, but we are so like we are like 1,000 years behind. Like I said, government come and it was funny listening to Paul tout the NDC. It's like in the 65 years we've had two coups, and right now we have been thinking about people are thinking about having another coup. I mean,
we have way more than two, right? We have one in 66. Then we have
we have three, 66.
Yeah, Ronald alone did
79 and 81.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
so
right. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what we're really celebrating. It's like, but I mean, if you look at other countries, this is what I say: hard work will not make it successful. It's about smart work. I mean, if you look at the Filipinos, if you work with Filipinos, if you work with the Hispanics, they work really hard. But the difference is technology. We are so behind. We are so behind. And like last time I told you, instead of the telecom entities providing us with better services, they're thinking about Mamomo. They transform better service to take our money.
Right.
It's like,
well, WhatsApp has taken over from the regular telephone, so it's now more profitable to provide, telecommunication services.
But they can provide data, internet data for us.
Right.
If you go to the UK, what Vodafone in the UK is like 100 times better than Vodafone in Ghana.
Right.
Why is that so? So as a country, you think we are independent, but it appears that even now we're thinking about either going to IMF or trying to make. Alfred, it's so sad that our political system is weak. It's like if I'm going to stand for, say, an MP, I'll come look for money from you and Lifetime and when I get in, I have to reward them. That's
cost $4 million to become an MP in Ghana.
Yes. And like I said, look at how many years it took Kufuor to become president. In 1996. I remember the first time he tried to become a presidential candidate was in 1996. That was in Sunyani. 96. And 20 years after that, he was successful in becoming a president. And our system is so much that the one trying to become a leader spends so much money that when he becomes a leader, he tries to find money to settle his debts. So what have we achieved as Ghanaians? It's appalling if you travel and you see what other parts of the world, how they have improved technology-wise, how they have improved infrastructure-wise. But then we do one thing and we want the whole world to hear about it. So if you ask me a general question about independence, it's sad that we spend so much money trying to celebrate our inefficiencies, trying to celebrate mediocrity. It's like we have to find a way to move forward. But then who is going to come and transform Ghana? It's like they all come and, like I said, people are thinking about if they're going to chop less, if they're going to mismanage less. So in a nutshell, I don't think we as Ghanaians, in 65 years, we've really moved an inch. We are still in the Nkrumah days. But then you would argue that Nkrumah almost had everything. Right now, we have so many problems. But we are 30 million people.
Do you think we've actually retrogressed? Do you think we've actually taken a step back from where we were perhaps in 2016 since this new government came into power?
It has to be specific in terms of what would you say? In terms of, say, our economy, because I remember Baumia saying that, I agree with Paul in the sense that Baumia talked about the dollar rate will expose you and all that kind of stuff. Right. The city dollar rate is really exposing the MPP. So it's like we move one step forward and then we retract.
And then we take two steps back.
Two steps back. So it is difficult, and I would put the blame on all the parties, and it's not just MPP. I mean, it's been MPP, NDC. It's like revolving door. They come in, they do more damage, and then they go out, and someone else comes.
And my
Like,
understanding too now is that when one is in government, the one in opposition goes to the one in government and take contracts.
Yes. Yes.
And the citizens are so the political class are really not feeling it.
No.
So I mean, which we'll talk about the Vomawa comments and the cool rhetoric. But could these be the things that perhaps makes people speak those ways and say we are ripe for another coup? Because when coup happens, chances are the new people who come on the scene wouldn't be part of the current political class.
No, but Alfred, we have a precedent. I mean, Rollins talked about the coup and how he was going to transform. He was going to be a junior Jesus, going to transform everything. Owning the toilet roll was like a luxury. But look at what he came to do. It's like he killed so many people. So many people lost their jobs, lost money. Then when he came, his probity and accountability turned out to be a farce. It's like, so I would not support any coup, and I would because it has not benefited any kind of even autocracy. Coup has not helped. Look at Libya. So it's the frustration. It's we're in a dire need. We are in difficult times these days. But I don't think it warrants somebody even calling for coup, because coup would even take us like 20 years back, and it's going to be difficult trying to make our economy back to where we want it to be. So I don't think the coup talk is really necessary. I think it's reasonable that people even think about having a coup in Ghana.
All right. Okay, great. So a couple of people are watching. My friend Filippo is watching. He said it's a great discussion so far, bro. And I'm always, amazed with the type of presentations that I get here on a week by week basis, from Dr. To all the way to Paul De-Sosoo and Afar Lifetime Legacy. And I'm sure the listeners and viewers are also enjoying it. So let me read one more message, take a quick commercial, and come back to talk about absenteeism in Parliament. And
I want to say a few things, make a few observations.
Can you wrap that up because I want us to move from this topic. So if you can do that in 1 minute, that would be great.
I can do it in 1 minute.
Sure.
You see, in as much as I agree with my brother Ifa and Dr. Ato that we should not be blaming any of the political party for our failure, I am also of opinion that if we don't name and shame and we continue to cover the wrongdoing, we will not make progress. Alfred, why am I saying this? If Nkrumah was not overthrown, okay, today you and I will not be on this platform talking about job unemployment. I am saying this because when it goes to Tema and North Carnation industrial area, where today all those places have been turned to church, even as far as in 60s, Nkrumah was championing the agenda of industrialization. You get it? Today, all those projects, those factories, those industries have not turned into religious worship places. So we have somebody to blame. Those who caused the overthrow of Nkrumah, caused the downfall of the country, created the increase in unemployment, the unemployment situation we are talking today. You get it? So there is no way we can talk about the current without looking at what happened in the past. You get it? So it is still important that we talk about the past, name and shame those who caused the overthrow of the man, or those who truncated the progress of the country. That is the only way we can make progress. Because if you fall down in one way and you don't look at where you fall, and you just get up and you start running, there is a tendency that you fall again. But if you know,
so in other words, saying if we don't learn from history, chances are we may repeat history.
Absolutely, that is what I want to say.
Okay, so it's interesting that you even mentioned the church and the factory thing, because when you come to the West, you see churches are getting turned into restaurants and into factories. But you go to our side of the world, factories get turned into churches, and then we go to the churches and pray for jobs. Okay, let me read this last comment quickly from Ibrahim, which says, "Cool detour." It says, "There is no way
comment on what."
Yeah, it says there's no way any sensible Ghanaian will accept, but wait, if coup come, then it means NDC and NPP all will be in opposition. Haha, great, Ghana sweet. Okay, I think I thought you were gonna say something.
Yeah, quickly. So you see the danger in politicizing it is that when you take it from Nkrumah all the way to now, you will get the negatives and the positives. Okay,
right.
So for me, take it out, okay? And then going forward, what happened that you don't want? You mentioned Nkrumah was truncated. Okay, what occasioned the subsequent ones, especially the last one with Rollins? Why? Rollins came, put Liman there, within a few months, kick off Liman. Why didn't you give him a time? So the moment you begin to say that, then you justify Liman should have been taken, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, it has to do with education. What are we doing in the education sector? It has to do with the health sector. It has to do with roads. It has to do with human capital development. It has to do with unemployment. So, okay, this successive government have not been able to do it. Going forward, what is your policy? What are the way forward? And not go and name and shame. Name and shame, and then what? You name and shame, he didn't do it. You name and shame, it didn't happen. Have you learned anything from it? If you're going to stand in the past and you're not going to be progressive, your independence will not be meaningful. It will be meaningless because you have not been able to plan and achieve what it is. We gain independence and others were not there. They have come to gain independence. Even the Comoros that beat us in Black Star, they came to us to learn about football and they beat us. And you are there talking about, I am Black Star, I am this. What the glory? I have taken the World Cup. What? No, that's not what we need. That is in the past. We want the current and the future ones. What have you put in place to ensure that we're going to get into the future? Anything short of that, you can still stand in the past and stand in the present and do the blame game and name and shame. Name and shame, what does it happen? Anas came to name and shame. He's been naming and shaming. Has anything changed? Has anything changed? You have people naming and shaming. And don't take the bull by the horn. It is policies. It is planning. It is jailing. It is putting the people. It is practicalizing what works and not talk. There we can talk. Oh, yo.
All right, that goes Kakape for you. All right, so my big bro again, Elom is saying that. Oh, okay, he said a couple of things. So first, he said he agrees with you. Lifetime legacy. He says because all these things is just NDC and NPP. They are not ready to cooperate with each other. That is the problem. Okay, so again, my friend Elom Seyram Sedu. He's saying you guys should cooperate, all right? Cooperate. And then he also says we are being divided, and the house divided. How it's been divided will always surely break down. Okay, that's some wisdom there that we can definitely push out to our leaders. I mean, work together. I mean, if e-levy is the way, let's pass it and move on. If it is not the way, definitely table it, you know? Okay, let's take a quick break. And then when we come back, I want us to talk about absenteeism in Parliament. Bear in mind the special case of Adjosafo. We'll be right back.
Just one more pic, JJ, please.
Oh, Mama. Really?
Smile. It's not every day my eldest son graduates.
I couldn't have done it without you.
All without Auntie Jane's generous support.
Here is to Auntie Jane's well-appreciated World Remit money transfers.
World Remit Corporation is licensed as a money transmitter by the New York State Department of Financial Services as a foreign transmittal agency by the Massachusetts Division of Banks, number FT1179663, and licensed by the Georgia Department of Banking and Finance, NMLS 1179663, Massachusetts Foreign Transmittal License, FT1179663.
World Remit, a better way to send money. Download the app or visit worldremit.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. Again, you're on the Ghana Agenda. If this is the first time you're watching, the Ghana Agenda is a political show dedicated to issues occurring in Ghana. We are here every Saturday from 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And usually we bring representatives from both political parties, the NDC and the MPP, to help us navigate the issues that we've tabled for discussion. So far, we've been discussing our independence for the last 65 years and where we are in terms of our progress, development-wise, in terms of security, in terms of employment for our people. And you've heard the two political parties and my neutral, Dr. Atto, express their takes on that aspect of the conversation. Now, let's talk about another issue that has become topical recently, which is, absenteeism of parliamentarians. If a parliamentarian has taken leave or has not been present in parliament, what should happen to that person? And I think there is a constitutional provision that covers that, and I'm going to try to read that. I've pulled the constitution in a PDF form. So let me just quickly go to the constitution and then come to the facts of that matter, and then go to my guest to see how best we can analyze that. So I'm getting ready to share the screen for that. And basically, we are referring here to the case of Adjosafo, but this is what the Constitution says in Article 93. Article 93 of the Constitution says, and I read as follows. It says, okay, let me boost it up so we can all see it. So we are going to read from C, but 97(1) says, a member of parliament shall vacate his seat in parliament upon the following. So if you're a member of parliament, here are the provisions that would cause you to either be sacked from parliament, removed from parliament, etc. And the A says upon dissolution of parliament. In other words, if the parliament is dissolved, for instance, the 8th parliament, which of the 4th Republic now, should be ending on, I think, the 6th of January 2025. On that day, if you are not re-elected, you are removed from parliament. B says, if the parliamentarian is elected as a speaker of parliament, so if you are voted or elected into parliament, but you are subsequently elected or selected by your colleague parliamentarians to become the speaker of parliament or appointed by the president, however that process is done, then you cease to become a parliamentarian, and somebody else will have to take your place, or there has to be a by-election in your constituency to get somebody to replace you. The third one is the one I want us to concentrate on, which is C. C says, if the parliamentarian is absent without the permission in writing of the speaker, and he is unable to offer a reasonable explanation to the Parliamentary Committee on Privileges from 15 sittings of a meeting of Parliament during any period that Parliament has been summoned to meet and continues to meet, or if he is expelled from Parliament after having been found guilty of contempt of Parliament by a committee of Parliament, or if any circumstances arise such that if he were not a member of parliament would have caused him to be disqualified or ineligible for election under Article 94 of this constitution. So C really is saying if the parliamentarian is absent without a written permission to the Speaker of Parliament, and that person has no what did they say? If the person is not able to explain or give any credible explanation, so let me take that part again. It says, or if they are not able to provide a reasonable explanation to, their, what do you call it? The committee. Let me see, what committee is that? The Parliamentary Committee on Privileges. Okay, so a couple of things. First, they have to have a written permission in order to be absent. Now, if they don't have that written permission, then they have to have a reasonable explanation submitted to the Parliamentary Committee on Privileges. And that is the only way they stay. Otherwise, they cease to be a parliamentarian or they are removed. So, the fact here are that we've had Adwoa Safo, who is the parliamentarian from Tomi Kwabenya in Accra. And she's been out of parliament for more than 15 sitting days. Matter of fact, she's been out since sometime last year. And apparently when the e-levy discussion was going on, she got flown back in. From the tapes we've heard, we have Kamala Japan came to say, she was given a private jet to return to Ghana. She got flown into Ghana, but she still refused to go to parliament for one reason or the other. I read recently that she's asked for an extension in writing to the Speaker of Parliament that she's going to take 2 additional weeks because of her daughter not being well. So she's already broken Article 97C. Should she be removed from parliament? Let's start from you, Lifetime Legacy. I think you're mute, Lifetime.
Thank you so much, Alfred. Like you showed to us, the Constitution is very, very clear that when somebody absents himself or herself from Parliament for continuously 15 days, the person have to be removed. Under the Fourth Republic, we have just a few occasions where that particular aspect of the Constitution was implemented. The one that comes to mind quickly is the Amwanti case, when he was jailed for narcotic offense. That is where that law was.
That's what I'm saying. If you can give us the facts on Amwanti case, Amwanti being a parliamentarian who was arrested in the United States on narcotic charges that he was caught transporting drugs from Ghana to the United States. And while he was in custody in the U.S., he stayed in the U.S. in custody for months without a written permission to the Speaker of Parliament asking permission. Then eventually he wrote to his lawyers wrote to the Parliament asking that, this is the situation, that they were going to ask for him to be given indefinite permission to abstain from Parliament, to which Parliament came together and granted that. They granted him indefinite. So the President Parliament actually said is that if you are in trouble and you actually wrote to them, they were able to grant Amos Amwanti indefinite opportunity to not be in Parliament, which contradicts, what the Constitution provided for. So Kuku Azan, in this case, Kuku, Asari, was a professor here in the United States, a lawyer, challenged Parliament at the appeals court or so. And the ruling was that, Parliament should remove him, and he was effectively removed. So just to give a background, and then you continue.
Thank you. So like I was saying, it was only on his occasion where we can say that law was effectively implemented. And apart from that, when you go to Parliament, I, as a political animal, some time past, have been frequenting Parliament for private stuff, to have engagement with some, my MP then, Honorable Fritz Bafo, and a few others. So that law have not been implemented depending on the party in power. In another situation where we nearly came close to the removal, or we have the situations where people cross carpets from one political party to the other, and then the law is implemented to that regard. So in a case, we have Professor Seni who one day got up and cross carpet and the law was implemented on him. We also have a situation where if it hadn't been the intervention of NDC, the current second deputy speaker of parliament, the law would have been implemented on him by Professor Michael Quay and MPP at that time. So that law, for me, even in as much as it's in our books, less it's be used in parliament as far as it's concerned. Some time past, you realize that when parliament is in session, you can see a lot of vacant seats, and some continue, and the only time you see them is when there is crucial issues and the whole house is needed. But I think with the current parliament we have and the way things is going, that probably for me will change the narrative going forward. With Adjoa Safo's case, it's an exceptional case where I think she have a problem with the government when she decided to remove our own late brother Koshige's wife from office, and she was asked to reinstate the woman again, and what brought her anger. She took a leave, and the rest became a history. Until recently, we've been told how our efforts to get her to Parliament to come and perform her legitimate and lawful duty did not materialize, to the extent that we are told 120,000 K, we don't know whether it is in dollars or in cedis, was deposited into account. In as much as I am not taking, I have a question mark about the person who is making the allegation. The accounts also says that when the crocodile from the water comes to tell you, what do you call it, tortoise have a shell at the back, there's no way you can doubt it. This is a baby mama, a baby father of making allegation against a baby mama, and we don't have much money in the system. The president, the letter we have, the president is using it to fly the private jet, and the last ones that we have also that need to be protected are also being given as a bribe. I mean, that is the name to be called it, where people can be used to, just to influence people to come to parliament to pass the e-levy. Right. And then part also being used to spend on private jet. You see, that clearly is telling us how the level of impunity as far as this government is concerned is growing by day by day. For me, from where I sit as a member of the opposition, I will continue to urge Adjoa Safo to stay where she is, so that we have equal numbers in the parliament to reject our the e-levy.
All right. Be careful what.
So for me, that is her continual absence in parliament. For me, it's a blessing to all Ghanaians, and for that matter, we in the opposition will not discourage her. She should continue to be wherever she is.
Are you speaking for the opposition or are you speaking for yourself at this point?
I'm speaking as a member of NDC.
All right.
And I'm saying that if that will inure to the benefit of Ghanaians, if her absence is inuring to the benefit of Ghanaians, we will continue to urge her to stay wherever she is. Because if she's around, by now, passing the e-levy would have been possible.
All right, so let's bring it up on that same issue, right? So
in wrapping up, we'll continue to thank her for her absence.
All right, cool. Let's bring FI in on that issue. FI, this is a disruptive activity of a parliamentarian, to say the least, right? This woman apparently was flown in from, wherever she went to give birth. That's my understanding, to come and do her legitimate parliamentary representing task, represent the people. And even to the extent that the allegations that that she was giving, like you just heard from our brother, left of legacy, that she was giving 120,000, and she's still not showing up to do her job. Should she not be removed? The constitution is clear.
Yeah, thank you very much. So if Lifetime Legacy is saying that her continuous absence, if it is good for the opposition, she should continue to stay there. I will also urge the government that whatever the government needs to do, whichever way.
That includes giving her 120,000.
Whatever the government needs to do, the government got to do it to get them in. Now,
oh my God,
there is so much that goes on behind the scene that I've said it over and over again. Sometimes we are privileged to have some of this information based on whatever, then we get them. But a lot goes on behind the scene that we don't know to keep the country running and stuff like that.
Right.
The $120. Subsequently, there have been a lot of explanations that I hope that I think it's been taken to the special prosecutor, so they should. But some of these things, we just it's not going to end up anywhere. So we just want to go ahead and people want to be talked about in the media. That's fine. It's not going to end anything. Now, so let's do it with the substantive issue of absenteeism. With Adwa coming to ask for 1 month more permission, I think the case is closed on absenteeism. So I don't even think that.
I mean, she was the absenteeism would have been when she actually wasn't in parliament before it was recorded as not present without permission, because they recorded that you actually have permission.
They're not going to do it. They're not going to remove her. The parliament won't do it. Nobody will activate it. So some of these things, if we want to debate it, you see, as we grow in the politics and in the communication, there are certain things we didn't know previously. Now that we know, that's why sometimes when I come and I talk, somebody will say, "Hey, but you are a." But I know now that, I mean, if I'm not comfortable with something that I'm not supposed to say for my party to look good, I'm not going to say it.
But
in unemployment, hold on. You see, this is employment, right? This is a employer-employee relationship. Now the company says you've been out, so they're debating whether to, and then you come and you ask leave and you've been granted. It kills whatever you were discussing.
No, this is not an employer-employee relationship, right? Because the employer really is we the citizens, and here's the thing too, right? In
that case, we wait for 2024, not what is happening. If we are talking about absenteeism, then it's Parliament, the government of Ghana, the Constitution, and Adwa. If it is about the citizens, then you wait for 2024.
But it's simple. What we are really asking for is very simple, right? You are going on leave. You're not going to be present, and the Constitution provides that you have to put that in writing to the Speaker. What is so difficult about that?
Yeah, but okay, well, you see, the last time we had this discussion, right? I said we need official statements. That is where we can pinpoint that maybe the clerk of parliament, the speaker, or the leadership will issue a statement that Adwa has been off. She hasn't asked for permission. These are the sittings.
No,
more than 15. She hasn't been there. We don't have it. Now, in the course of us talking, she comes and she asks for permission. She's been granted. She's gone. And you're still talking about before she asks for permission.
but if the green report that comes from Parliament that captures who was present, who was absent, and characterize whether the absence was one that is accompanied with the permission. She has been shown to have been absent on numerous occasions as somebody who didn't have a permission.
Three or four can be numerous. The constitution was specific.
You're talking
15.
about way more than 30 cities. Not even 15 we are talking about.
Okay, okay. So the 30 minutes, you see, I want us to.
Japan was absent more than 15 days. We've known that. Yeah.
You see, I want us to point it and then we kill it and we move on. Because sometimes politicians will put us into the discussion mood. We talk, and then there is no issue. Okay, so the leadership, the opposition, right? The opposition, the NDC, they've not activated anything.
Well, if this doesn't happen, you could just expect the litigations, right? Because the citizens wouldn't sit and watch the parliament break the law, or the parliamentarians break the law and watch parliament not do anything about it. There's definitely going to be some litigation over this. Because
I'm waiting for that.
She clearly broke the law. Now in her, we have, Communal Japan breaking the same law. We have Kwate, the mayor of Accra, breaking the same law, and these people should be brought to book. They should be
allegedly. So
because we are the guy
Okujeto said that, right? Okujeto said this.
I know. I saw.
But you see, it's a shame unto him, Okujeto, to say somebody has broken the law. You are there and you haven't done anything about it. It's a shame unto him.
Yeah, but it's a process, right? The person has to go through the
process. Has he activated any process?
Right. Okay, I'll let you wrap up your point.
Exactly. So Amuzu and listeners, the long and short of it is that you see, these politicians can play us sometimes, and we must grow out of it. Okay, so you are there. You've seen somebody breaking the law. You see, Amua Bua, the Elambela MP, he broke the law. He was in a traffic light. He was taken to police station. He went away. They call him. You see the police pursuing him because he has broken the law. You sit there as an MP. You've broken the law. Even if you cannot take it up as an MP because you think your friends are whatever, give it to somebody. Let somebody have the information and then we deal with it. But you just go and say it, you throw it out there. You put us into a discussion frenzy. And then she came, asked for permission. She's been granted and she's gone. And we are here debating it. I think that, you see, our laws have not been tested enough. And the only way to give strength to the law, to the constitution, is when we test it over time to see that this article, this sentence, this is what it means, just as we've done in other cases. Okay?
Right.
Nobody has taken on some of these things. Adwa is a perfect case. NDC is a trump card. Go ahead. Activate it. Let's remove Adwa. We have a precedent. If Henry Kwate, if Kennedy Japan has flouted the law, what are we waiting on? Because some people won't do it. We are not going to do it.
I mean, MPP should do it too, right? I mean,
okay, we are going to do it. Okay, let me rephrase. Okay, wait for MPP. Okay, wait for us. Okay, wait for us. We will do it. You see, come on now.
So you guys are just playing games with us. That's what it is.
We are not playing games with you. No.
Why wouldn't you enforce the law?
Somebody took Kwesi into court, right? It wasn't the government. It was somebody. But because it's the way they invited the Attorney General to come in. Okay, so some of these things a citizen can take it up. You have the evidence, give it to somebody. We can activate it and we take it up from there. Other than you talk, you leave it there for politics. We talk, and then nothing happens. Me, I have my doubt if Adwa, Henry, or a Kennedy Japan will be removed. Even an activating of it, they won't activate anything. There is what they can do. I'm looking up to what they can do. I'm not going to give that information, but I'm monitoring it. There is the second thing that they can do. But parliamentarians and in the parliament, that's not going to happen. There is the other one. That is, let's watch a few months and see how that one goes.
All right, great. So now we have our future honorable Paul De-Sosoo showing his face. Great to have that. So Paul, let me read one or two messages before I get you to fire a little bit for me, because in your absence he's been
he's been playing mischief all along. Right? Finish your message.
All right. So Mr. What is his name here? Ibrahim says he says, while the MP is still in the USA, is she still taking salary and allowance? All right, Afa, is your baby mama taking salaries while she's in the USA? We want to know, because if she is, I mean, you are literally not working, so why should we be paying you? Is it leave without pay or is leave with pay? That's what we want to know, especially when she hasn't actually taken permission for all those times that she's been absent since last year. Until now that she's been granted some 1 month additional. Is she taking pay? Is what Ibrahim is asking. Ibrahim is also saying that it will be very difficult to believe Honorable Kennedy Japan lied about what he said about this baby mama. However, Honorable Kennedy should also use his keys to influence their mama to come. All right. I think he's tried that. And apparently it's not working, right? Elom again says, because she knows she can get away with it. So that's it. Yeah, exactly. She knows she can get away with it. That's why, she will go without taking a leave and even be flown back to the country and still refuse to come to the parliament because she knows she can get away with it. I agree with you 100%. And then Elom says, nobody listens to the citizens unless you're in that kind of position. Exactly. So if you're not among the circles, exactly, nobody listens to you. Politics it says politics in Ghana is above the law. I've been there for a long time. Yeah, it is. The politicians, for instance, we are talking about one that was actually arrested at the airport, which, if I just referred to, he was driving at the airport. I don't know how, but apparently not in the right of ways, and he was stopped. But this man just decided to speed away and answer to the police, and then he got invited. A release was actually made about that from the police, which I read the other day. But it's just appalling. The politicians see themselves as above the law. And that is very true. And they say they are all the same, MPP and NDC. Exactly. Okay. Kofi C. Chopper Filippo says, Afa knows they have no idea what they are going to do next. Okay. We'll let Afa come and answer to that. All right. So, Paul, welcome back. And at this point, what I want to do, Paul, is ask you about this ladies issue. I mean, she's not the only one. We've at least pointed out about 3 MPs on the MPP side who have just left parliament and did not do exactly what the constitution asks them to do, which is write to the Speaker of Parliament and obtain permission before you embark on any absence that would be more than 15 days. It's a simple, very simple thing to do, but they don't do it. And FI is saying nothing will happen because she came back and asked for a subsequently came back and asked for permission, which was granted, and therefore nothing will happen to her. In other words, she can break the law and then come after and sort of comply, but nothing will happen to the previous occasion and in which she broke the law. We can run a country on this basis. Do you agree, Paul?
Well, thank you very much. Before I start with that, let me also make some,
rebuttals
earlier on that I couldn't make. Look, Mr. Musu, I know you are a very balanced and then a fair host, and I just hope you are not in the pocket of Dr. Ato. I don't want you to introduce him as a neutral person. He is an NPP spokesperson who is, injected with the Jubilee lies that they keep on telling them every week. So please, when you're introducing him,
Paul, can I call you an Ivorian?
You can call me anyone you want. I don't mind. I am saying Dr. Ato is an NPP spokesperson who has been injected with the Jubilee House lies that they feed to them every week. So please, I will plead on your behalf. You are a good friend and you are a balanced person. Stop introducing him as a neutral person. He's not a neutral person. He's an NPP spokesperson. So let's get into the show aside, please. That's number one. Number two.
I need to respond to what Paul just said.
Why you were talking, I was quiet, my brother.
Well, all right,
he's not a member of the communication team. He doesn't come to any briefing. So I don't even go to any briefing that Paul is talking about. So Paul, no. Oh no, I'm serious. He's not a member of our communication team. No, he's not. He's not even a member of the branch. He's not a member of the Chicago chapter. He's a sympathizer.
Can I speak?
I don't even know if he's a sympathizer. He's not. I don't know. He's not a card-bearing member of our party. So how can a non-card-bearing member of our party become a briefing at the presidency? Oh, are you really seriously?
I am saying.
Me and Ato were on a show on election day, and of course Ato was assisting the MPP in collation. Is that true or not? So how is somebody
I am saying on authority that Dr. Ato is a full-fledged NPP communicator who joins my brother Ifa to receive briefing from the Jubilee House. I've made my case. I'll move on.
And I am telling you, that is not true. No, I'm not even going to wait for him to say it. That's not true. He's not a member of the MPP communication team, Chicago chapter. He's not a member of the communication team at the branch.
But
that is what you know. Right? That is what you know.
As much the amount of
let's not drag this issue.
He may be a member. He may be a member of the party. No two ways about that. But I'm telling you on authority, he's not a member of the Chicago chapter. He's not a member of the branch.
I believe that.
He does a good job of coming here to bash the government.
If he was a member, he would have been kicked out by now. He would have been kicked out by now.
As much as if I want me to respect his view, I also want him to respect my view. I respect his view. I am saying, and that is my view. There's nothing that can change it. I am saying, Dr. Ato.
It is not. Paul, it's not my view. It is a fact. Facts are not views. Facts are not views. Facts are what it is. Facts are what it is. Paul is Paul. I cannot have an opinion on Paul, right? I just want to punch him a little bit. That's going to go well off.
You see, my brother, if I is just trying to.
The Paul who did not come early is more than.
Let me lose my focus of making my submission, but it's not going to happen. I am saying that number two, I've made my first statement. I hold by it. Number two, I am saying that when Dr. Ato, when he was speaking, you put a question to him and he was talking about Ghana is retrogressing. If he doesn't know, I want to tell him the areas in which Ghana is retrogressing. When we talk about security, Ghana is retrogressing when we come to security because I just came back from Ghana 3 days ago. When we talk about freedom of speech, Ghana is retrogressing. He knows, I know that now when you speak, they come after you. But when other people speak, they leave them. And I can set example. When in 2016, when their presidential candidate, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, spoke about the Arab Spring, whatever it is now, who went after him? Today, I saw Dr. Ato on the platform.
They say because Muhammad is incompetent, he couldn't go after him. That's why.
He can say whatever he wants to say. I am saying today, he's on the platform talking and chasing, bashing Dr. Atuguba. That is up to him. I am telling them on this show that Ghana is progressing when it comes to freedom of speech. Now, people don't have their freedom to say what they want to say. And look, Alfred, let's set a record straight. I have never stated any, or since we started this program, I've never spoken about coups. I am telling you on this show that if someone wants to make a coup, the person will go and stand on the radio and be announcing it. So for Dr. Ato to be playing this mischief about coup people make it, I mean, I don't want to even go there because if people are going to make a coup, they will not come and sit on radio or be announcing it. They will take us by surprise. And I am a Democrat. I will never support a coup. And I've stated on this show, myself and Ifa, that's the only thing we agreed on, that whoever tried to make a coup in Ghana, the person will not succeed.
Right.
Because of the level at which our democracy has grown. So let's put that aside. When we are talking about Ghana retrogressing, when we're talking about the economy, Dr. Ato knows the economy has shrunk and has fallen into a ditch, and he knows about it. So that is one of the ways Ghana is retrogressing. And we are talking about governance. Dr. Ato knows that this super incompetent government, which he is a spokesperson of,
The governance of the country is retrogressing to its negative, and he knows. And I am very happy. The only thing that I can say the NPP is good about, that is they are progressing in, is when it comes to corruption. Gargantuan corruption. Stealing, thievery, share among family and friends. That's the only thing Dr. Ato's party is good in doing. So let me put that record straight. Now let me come to Adjoa Safo's case. You see, if you want to talk about fairness, okay, as Okudzeto Ablakwa said, Henry Korte, Kennedy Japan, they are all corporate. They've all accepted themselves from parliament more than 15 days without permission. So how come that Kennedy Japan is trying to play it neat? What's it himself? He has been implicated. The records show, and when Okudzeto Ablakwa spoke about it, what did he say? He said he has records to show that he came for medical review. What made him, Kennedy Japan, to think Adjoa Safo also don't have records to support the reason why he has been absent of parliament? No, let's play the game very well. And let me also state on record that my good friend, if I was trying to lambaste Okudzeto Ablakwa, Okudzeto Ablakwa has stated categorically that he is gathering all his documents, he's gathering all his facts, and he's going to raise this issue. And the first thing he has done was to go to the attendance book to take records, and it showed clearly that the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Henry Korte, Kennedy Japan, Adjoa Safo, they are all corporate. They've all been absent from Parliament more than 15 days without permission. So at the right time, those issues should be discussed. Now let me come to whether Adjoa Safo can be removed from Parliament or not. Look, Mr. Amuzu, the question over here is, the Speaker of Parliament has stated categorically that the NPP has no right to remove Adjoa Safo from Parliament. We don't know the fact upon which the Speaker is making or is saying those, making those statements. Let's wait. As this, the one thing I can agree with Ifa is that let's wait for the Clerk of Parliament to come out with the document. For all to know, we are blank-folded. This lady has gone through the right process to ask seek permission. And just this week, it has come out from the majority leader saying that she has requested for 4 extra more weeks due to a problem with his child. Look, we are all human. All of us here are family people. If my child is sick, I will not waste my time and come and sit here and do what I'm doing. If I am an MP and my child is having difficulties going through, health issues, I will focus on my child before you come in or focusing on, work. So for me, I don't want to go into those things. At the right time, that right thing to know. You know what? All this that they are doing, what Ifa and Dr. Atu should be talking about is the 120,000, whether Ghana cedi, whether dollars, whether pound sterling, that was transferred to Adjoa Safo. That is what we should be talking about. Where did the chief of staff got that money from? That money, what was the purpose of that money? Those are the things she's talking about. And according to Kennedy Japan, they rented a private jet, and research shows that the private jet that they rented charged 4,500 an hour. And the private jet was rented from Belgium. Mr. Amuzu, calculate the number of hours from Belgium to the US, from the US to Ghana, calculating all the crew on board, calculating the landing cost and everything. It's almost over almost $1.1 million has been wasted just on one person, just to pass 11. And this is what I expect Dr. Ato, an MPP communicator, Ifa, an MPP, this I expect them to be talking about. The corruption, the wastage in the system. You are spending almost $1.1 million on only one person just to pass 11. Do we know what that $1.1 million when you convert it into city, which is 7.3 today, as I told you, I changed dollar today, 7.3. Do you know how many thousands of Ghana cedi it is? What can those money do for people who are asking for pay increase? What that money can do to get beds into a hospital, which if I said one of his relatives got sick. Look, Ghana is retrogressing under this super incompetent government. Now, Mr. Musu, the most important thing that we need to talk over here is this money that has been wasted on one person, whether they like it or not. They are having issues with numbers in parliament. As we speak, Ifa knows, Dr. Atu knows, they are MPP communicators. They've briefed them from the Jubilee House. One of their MP is at ICU, seriously sick, and that member can never appear in parliament. So even at all without Adjwasafu, they are short with 2 numbers.
Right.
That is why they cannot pass the e-levy. That is why if anything they will do for now, they have to hold on until that member of parliament who is at the intensive care unit is out and just have to back to the country before they can pass the e-levy. If I were to be them, this is the time for them to withdraw the e-levy, go back, do stakeholders, consultation, meet all stakeholders, let's come together, let's see the way and forward by which we can introduce things. Look, the NDC is raising 2 issues: accountability and transparency. We are saying that the COVID relief fund that they got, which they lied to us, the World Bank, the World Bank, country director came to say they gave the country over $400-something million, but this incompetent government told us that they only had over $100-something million. You see the inefficiency, the inaccuracy, and the misreporting of figures. All what we are demanding from them is that they should do the right reporting. They should account for the COVID monies that they got from the World Bank, IMF, from the Bank of Ghana, and from other donors. We want them to account for it. Then, if you account for it, then we will be ready to support them to pass the e-levy. And even at all, one of the fear we are putting across, which God is being good to us, which was revealed by the Minister for Road yesterday. They are going to collateralize the e-levy when we pass it. They'll collateralize it and take loans. Those are the things that we are kicking against. Because if you remember, they've collateralized the Get Fund.
Collateralized,
and they've taken a lot of money. And they're going to do the same to the e-levy. It came out of the mouth of the road minister.
Collateralized.
Yeah, it dropped out. They are going to collateralize the e-levy when they pass it. And we are saying that if at all we are going to pass the e-levy, they should prove to us that they'll be very transparent. The e-levy is not going to go into the consolidated fund. A separate account or a fund will be created for it. And we are going to appoint independent non-politicians to manage those accounts. Those are the demands we are asking them, and they are not being able to come clean on those demands. Look, the reason why we are saying that we don't want the e-levy to pass, and our fears has been confirmed, is that they will be collateralizing that e-levy, and it is our plan that when we come, we will abort the e-levy. But if they go and collateralize it right now and take loan, when we come, it's going to be an abattoir on our neck, and we'll be paying for it. 2024, I know my good friend Ifa will be going to opposition. Even though they're in power, he still have a very bad network. When I am in power in government, I will look at him because he's my good friend and I'll support him. But I am saying over here that whether they like it or not, they can go and hijack and bring anybody at all. The e-levy can never be passed until further notice. Until they have the Basafu back in Ghana, until they have their MP who is at intensive care back in parliament, they can never pass the e-levy. And Mr. Muzu, you know something also? This government, if I tell you they are retrogressing the country, as Dr. Atu and my good brother Ifa will tell me, I am hating them. And the truth is that, how can you come out with such a policy? After you throw the policy and the policy hit the wall, now you've gone down to have town hall meetings. Can Ifa and Dr. Atu tell us on this show how many thousands of Ghana cedis they've spent on that town hall meeting, and whether those money that they are wasting on the town, why can't they use that money rather to channel into capital venture to do something better? For your record and for your information, Mr. Amuzo, the e-levy that they were anticipating, these people, they are 419 government. If I tell you they are 419 government, they will be fighting with me. Dr. Atu and a first government is a 419 government. The trick they were trying to play on the
on that for us, please.
Yeah, they were trying to play on the intelligence of Ghanaians. They thought they were going to introduce the e-levy, and that is why they abolished the road toll. So that Ghanaians would just say, oh, they've taken the road tolls away. So let's ask, look, Ghanaians have egos now. Ghanaians are smart and intelligent now.
Right.
Dr. Atu and my brother Ifa cannot play on our intelligence again. I am saying right here and over here that, mark my words, the road toll that they abolished, they will bring it back. Because they were trying to play and be smart on the good people of Ghana, but it failed and it has shot back to them. I
don't think they'll bring the road toll back though. You know why? Because in the transportation levy, which is a component of EXLA, they've already added 41 cents or so on each gallon of petrol, which goes to the road fund. So, I mean, if you are already raising enough from that, why?
My brother, I'm telling you, they'll bring it back, and if I know that, they will bring it back. That is why when they put a question to the road minister, what are they going to do to the road toll? Those we said they are going to keep it and they're going to turn it to urinals. He's lying because they took a knee-jerk reaction. Yeah, that's what they did. And to conclude on this issue, Mr. Musu, I am here to let you understand that look, Ghana is our country. We all love Ghana,
right?
But if we all don't rise up and defend our country from this autocratic government, this autocratic leader, Ghana will collapse, Ghana will be destroyed, and Ife's children and my children will not love to go back to Africa, where we come from, to go and stay there and say they are Ghanaians. Now, my kids, if you tell them, they will tell you, look, Akufo-Addo is destroying Ghana, so I don't want to go to Ghana. I'm not a Ghanaian. That's what my boys will tell you.
Information on Akufo-Addo. Anyway,
no, they've been reading the news, they've been listening to the news, and they've said how autocratic and vindictive Akufo-Addo is. So I am pleading on my brother Ifa.
He's on mute and he's saying a lot of things. Ifa, what are you saying? We can't hear you.
No. I don't want to come in, but you see, I am intentionally on mute and doing the sign so you get it because I have to respect his views, right? But if I can come in, if I can come in,
Ghana is
can you hold it so when we turn around to you, you can take the opportunity because we have a Dr. Atu who's suffering.
Man, I want to take him on, man. He's come on now. Anyway, I'll give you the host. But if he's not, if I'm behind the scene fighting, I wish I can come in and punch him, like not punch like punch, but like give him the other one.
You see, Ghana, on more serious note, right. I was sad. The things I saw, the way the country is going. Look, all of us need to pray for Ghana. Ghana is sitting on a timing bomb, as I said, because anything can happen anytime. The unemployment, the anger in the people, the deceiveness in the people is too much that the people have seen that this super incompetent government has deceived them to a level that people want to erupt, but they are afraid because they know Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Atu will send the military after them. I am saying on this show that let us all put our hands on the deck and let's build Mother Ghana. Mother Ghana is being destroyed under the leadership of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. All right,
quickly. Nana Addo is destroying Ghana. That is your final words. Let's let me read quickly a couple of comments, and then Dr. Atu, you can come in and punch Paul for us. So Kofi is saying Canada, Japan is a culprit of that absenteeism. Yes, he is. And Okujeto is gathering the documents to show that. So we'll wait to see that. And then Ibrahim says, Alfred, can Mr. Efa, and Efa, I want you to note this question down so that when you come back, you can respond to Ibrahim here. Ibrahim is saying, can you, Mr. Efa, be sincere enough to tell us at least 3 things this government isn't doing better or is failing at, if you can tell us that. And then Elam says, do you guys know what is breaking us down? it is this party stuff. Why can't we focus on what we can do positively for the country? Politics is killing the economy. He is just on fire today. All that is really true. The partisanship definitely is not helpful. Johnny Wood says De-Sosoo was coached on political games. She's now playing the same games against his own MPP. Wow. That can be further from the truth. And then Johnny again says, Kennedy Japan coached De-Sosoo political. Okay, I think I've read that. Kofi is saying, bro, trust me, this government has planned a million ways to spend revenue from the e-levy. I know, right? They do have, plans for this e-levy, and that's why, the town halls are going on. They just want to find a way to pass it. Ma Ewia Sani says MPP land guards think about their party, not the country. All right. So again, the political parties both have land guards or full soldiers who definitely benefit from the party being in power. So the last one here is from Ibrahim again. Says NDC seem to be fighting for Ghanaians with regards to e-levy. It is complete fallacy. They will definitely continue it if they are in power. That is, if they will. All right. So he's saying that even if the NDC come into power, they would still want to have e-levy anyway. Ms. Anto, what do you think? Do you think NDC will want to have e-levy when they come into power? And Paul has accused you of so many things, so I know you are ready to punch him. Take it away.
Yes. So thank you very much again. I have 2 points before I start.
Yeah. So
henceforth, Paul will be known as Saul. You cannot call him Paul on this show any longer, because he's not behaving like a Paul, the Paul we know in the Bible. So henceforth, we only have Saul on the show. I would wish and I entreat you to indulge your crave your indulgence to call him Saul.
No problem. Go ahead. No problem. Go ahead.
Any longer.
Paul Saul De-Sosoo.
No problem. Go ahead.
Saul De-Sosoo. Saul De-Sosoo. Don't by the way. I mean, and truth be told, I mean, I have been contacted by MPP folks to become a part of their party and to become a membership.
Right.
Because one, they know that I speak fluently. One, they know that I can attack NDC if I want to. So, in a way, Paul can be correct by saying that, because probably in the past couple of months, I've been attacking Paul and my friend, the nice guy, e-levy beneficiary over the lifetime. But like I said, I go both ways. Today, I agree with my friend Ifa in the sense that you are the parliamentarians. The NDC knows that the number is tight. If the NDC would be prudent enough, they would have called in the parliament for these people to be sacked.
Right.
But what did they do? They come up with paperwork and tell us, oh, this person has something. What should we do about it? What can I do about this as a Ghanaian?
Well, I think political expediency, right? Because if you got just a sack now, you're going to bring somebody in who would quickly vote for the
of course. But then you come and tell me on radio that, oh, this person didn't come to parliament. So what can I do as a Ghanaian about it? There's nothing I can do about it. You are the parliamentarians that you can take proceedings against these people. But no, you want to do a political game. And you know what the interesting thing is? That De-Sosoo look alike. The same thing happened. Someone comes to parliament, you believe that it's not De-Sosoo. Nothing has been done. You just wait quietly. And after she's gone, she absconds, you come to parliament, you come to readiness day. Oh, we saw somebody in parliament, she doesn't look like De-Sosoo. What can I do about it? What should I do about it? So I agree with in that sense. Like, we cannot do anything about it. You parliamentarians, you know your procedures. If you have 3 people not coming to parliament, it's in your favor. If you have not been in parliament 15 days, it's in your favor. What can we do about it? You know what I'm talking about? What can we do about it? I don't condone anybody absenting themselves from parliament.
But in the case of the impersonator, the perceived just impersonation, I mean, I don't think it is easy to react immediately, right? Because you've seen somebody who looks like a De-Sosoo. Unless you go and try to press the person. I mean,
it's not easy. If it's not easy for you, Alfred, if it's not easy for you parliamentarians in parliament to do something about it, what can I do about it as a Ghanaian sitting outside the parliament?
What
You allow the person to leave, and then you come and tell me, oh, someone came to the parliament and they probably looked at Joseph, but it's not the one. I mean, what are we doing as a country? It's like, you know what? I believe if it was the MPP, like if I was saying, seeing that the person in parliament, that's not the person who's supposed to be in parliament, they wouldn't wait till the next day to come and tell us A, B, and C was in parliament. What kind of incompetence is that? So if I say that, my friend Saul will say, "Oh, this guy is MPP." It's really interesting. I mean, I don't condone like we are saying. This is we 65 years of independence.
Right.
Parliamentarians are not showing up. You remember the Kojo teacher Kojo? He absented himself from school. He was sacked from school.
Right.
So what? And you know, the interesting part of it, you have a speaker as a member of the NDC.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the leadership issue with the NDC or I don't know what it is, but
the speaker is an NDC member.
Yeah.
And the numbers are tied, and you didn't have the numbers to make your case. So if you come to me and tell me that Joseph didn't come, what should I do about it? That's not nothing I can do about it.
Alfred, I hope you know how the speaker won to become the speaker. We got somebody from the opposition voting for
it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. He is the speaker.
It is relevant.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah. Okay, let's get our turn to go.
Yeah. So my point is, by now, if we were in a serious country, all these people would just be evicted from parliament. Because these are rules. If a teacher in Ghana cannot absent himself for so many days, why should he allow parliamentarian? And at the end of 4 years, they receive ex gratia. What kind of country are we? I mean, we should be upset. We should challenge the Speaker of Parliament. Somebody should be taking this to court. There's a waste of taxpayers' money. Because nobody in Ghana, civil servants can do this in Ghana. But then what do? Paul and his people will come out with paperwork and saying she didn't come, this person didn't come. But you have the Speaker of Parliament as NDC member, and you have equal numbers. So what are we doing?
Right.
What are we doing as Ghana? What are we doing? We are not holding people accountable. And 4 years they receive ex gratia at the expense of
somebody has to petition for this to move on. You know that.
No. If we have leadership, the Speaker of Parliament will act. They wouldn't wait and tell us, the person came for another excuse, and then we granted this excuse.
No, I mean,
and then my friend Saul is happy about it. Happy about that.
The Constitution says that the person, which is Adjosafo in this case, have to face Privileges Committee and render to the Privileges Committee reasonable explanation for why she was absent. So, in all we are saying,
Alfred, we have a head of parliament. We have a Speaker of Parliament. We have a Speaker of Parliament.
Right.
The Speaker should act.
Yeah, but I'm saying that the Constitution didn't give any power to the Speaker under this issue. It is.
But they have standing orders. They have standing orders.
The standing orders say exactly the same thing. It's exactly the same language. So basically, it is that the Privileges Committee have to call Adjosafo to come and explain to them why she was absent. And if the Privileges Committee find her explanations reasonable, the matter dies there.
No. So Adjosafo should seek permission from the Speaker. So if that was not done, that was not sought. What should the Speaker do about this? Wait till the Privileges Committee to come and ask questions? It doesn't make any sense.
Now, maybe, somebody, like they said, somebody has to actually petition for. I
disagree.
Point of correction.
Okay.
Can I come in here?
Yeah, correct.
So at this stage, it is in the news, and you've heard, and you are the Speaker, and you will address it. So is the Speaker of Parliament telling us that he's not a Ghanaian to take it to the Privileges Committee?
We are saying that the Speaker doesn't have any power given to him in the Constitution to act on this matter.
Say who? No, say who?
I can read the Constitution back to you.
Okay, so no. So you want to tell us that the Speaker is not a Ghanaian?
If the Speaker is just there to preside over a proceeding, somebody else needs to petition the Speaker. If the Speaker, the Speaker should take this thing up. You and Dr. Atu will be here. I'm translating the Speaker.
Somebody.
It is because of the way we've done our politics. So at the end of the day, if there is an action that needs to be taken, who should do it?
Who should do
There's
it?
no action. No, it's simply there is no action.
The speaker,
That's
the
why.
speaker is there as a referee. He cannot be a judge in his own court. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But I know, but you say they are parliamentary, NDC parliamentarians in parliament, right?
Equally, there are NPP parliamentarians. They should also take it up.
No,
Why are the NDC parliamentarians not taking it up?
We are not interested in it. We are not
We
interested
are
in
also
it.
not interested in it. So he died. They won't do anything. They will.
I think this is going to be litigated. For me,
Doctor,
I think
just for information, Okuluyeto Ablakwa is going to take this issue up. He has stated it.
I think,
Okay,
whether looking
NDC
for,
is not interested, but an NDC MP will take it up. What kind of contradiction is that? Oh my goodness!
Even if it is not taking up, I'm looking at people like Professor Azar or Martin Pebu or one of those lawyers.
Exactly. But there's nothing. After there's nothing. They won't do anything.
I can land. If I can
Yeah,
land.
sure, go ahead.
So what I'm saying is that the parliament is a place of laws. I mean, we 65 years and we are still talking about MPs absenting themselves. What are we doing? And they take as gratia every 4 years. And we have people in parliament, lawyers, and all these people. They come to radio stations every morning and talk however and whatever they.
I think we lost Ato temporarily.
We should be serious as a country. We cannot be.
Go ahead, Ato.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that going forward as a nation, we should elect people who would think. We should elect speakers who we think can do prudent jobs in parliament, not just people who just sit there and allow people to just do whatever they want.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for that succinct presentation there. Now let's take Rafa, let's go straight into the next topic because it's time and we've already passed our 2-hour mark. But we could do brief comments on this one, and which is Vomawa had a day in court, went to the Supreme Court looking for the decision that was actually passed at the trial court not to give him a bail, etc., to be quashed. And the Supreme Court actually returned him back to the trial court with a suggestion that, you know what, if anything, you should have gone through the appeal court first. Now, the substantive issues are, Vomao has, written on his Facebook page about coup d'etat, and he was picked at the airport when he landed. We also saw Professor Atuguba, had a presentation where he says that from what he's learned from his friend who did a similar research on Ghana about why coups succeed, he thinks that Ghana is ripe for a coup d'etat at this point. I want to share some part of the constitution with you, which talks about removing or how to remove the president. It says removal of the president. And in this article, which is Article 69, it says the president shall be removed from office if he is found in accordance with the provisions of this article. And it goes with A, to have acted in a willful violation of the oath of allegiance and the president's oath set out in the second schedule 2, or in willful violation of any other provisions of this constitution. B, and I want us to concentrate really on B, where it says if the president is found to have conducted himself in a manner which brings or is likely to bring the high office of president into disrepute, ridicule, or contempt. And Sawabroni comes to mind immediately. The part 2 of this is, if the president is found to have conducted himself in a manner that is prejudicial or inimical to the economy or the security of the state. So everything you hear from people like Atuguba, etc., seems to be matters that are bordering on the economy. And it is under the leadership of the president that perhaps the economy may not be. So even in our constitution, there is a language in there that talks about removing the president if his conduct is inimical to the economy, if he brings the country to ridicule or disrepute. And we have instances of that. So are we going to say that we should tear the constitution apart because the constitution is referring to removing the president and is citing the same things that we are hearing from people like Atuguba cites? And let me start that from afar.
Thank you very much. Before that, can I answer the question that somebody asked me for 3 things that I think my government hasn't done right?
Absolutely. Take it away.
That will not be part of my distance. So one is corruption fight. I don't think that we have tackled corruption fight aggressively as we should. The second is sanitation, and the third is revenue collection. So these are things I fault my government for. We have not tackled these points correctly. And if we can do these things, right?
How about security? How about security issues?
Oh, we don't have security issues in Ghana.
Like picking up journalists, some of them killing.
No. Okay, so we have a journalist and a lawyer that is telling us that some of them are pure criminals. This is coming from not being a person than Samson Ayinini says for him, and this was in the heat of pickups. He says some of them are pure criminals. He's been representing some of them, and he's privy to some of their information. There is nothing like culture of silence in Ghana. You see, the media in Ghana is very vibrant. But Paul, Alfred, I come. You are a media personality, right? I don't like you. Then I go and post that I've seen Alfred in a hotel with a girlfriend. You are married, and then maybe you are having a business meeting. I try to catch you in a way. You see me? Behind the scene, I have a private people that I discuss security with. So I know security matters, even though I'm not in that field. So they will really, really monitor you and take a picture that tells a particular story. Go out there, publish it in the news. You take them on. They cannot answer. You either take money from them or you get them imprisoned. And somebody says it's a culture of silence. Oh, no. Imprison as many of such people as possible. But you have the Kwame Sefa kinds. You have the, I want to mention people that are on the opposition. You have the Hughes. What's his name?
Good morning, Ghana. Good morning, Ghana. Is it good evening, Ghana?
No. Good morning, Ghana. Has it been picked up?
Dako.
Yeah, I want to mention people that are on the other side. Has Mugabe been picked up? I don't want to pick people that have been picked up. Has Mugabe been picked up?
Mugabe has been picked up. Has he been picked up? I don't know. I think he hasn't. I don't know, but
no, I don't know. I don't think Mugabe has been picked up. I'm not going to talk about. So I want to talk about what has even the NDC communication center not said about this government. The press conference. Do you listen to their press conferences? So Ghana is where we're not. Go to Ukraine, go to Rwanda, go to even Senegal, and all those. Then you will understand what culture of silence is. I'm telling you, go to those places. You will understand. Even in America here, if somebody wants to take you on because of something you publish about them, you haven't. I have been a victim of that.
Well, we repeal criminal libel. So
no. That has nothing to do with criminal. There is what we call. So there is a civil libel, right? Where you can take somebody to court and the person gets invited and stuff like that. Okay. Now, when it has to do with coup and these panic and fear and stuff like that, first you are written to come show up, like they did to Abronia. Show up. You show up, you are not able to provide, then they deal with it. Is, and you see, this time around, right, there's something that is happening that we seem not to understand. Those days, they will come and ransack your studio and stuff like that. You get a letter.
One of our viewers, Kofi Sochichofa, is telling us Mugabe has been picked up several times.
Okay, I don't want to mention names of people that have been picked up because we can go to specific case and see why the police picked them up. No, so that one is not. But even having said that, the media is not cowed. Ghana media is not cowed. No. What is it that they don't want to talk about? Pick an issue. Whatever. Is it about the president? Is it about this and stuff like that? And let me tell you. See, I have information on the NDC here, right? I have information on NDC. If I send it to you, Paul, and we don't discuss this thing, then I will know your stand. So when we discuss those things, as painful as it may be, it is what to correct the system. Sometimes we go overboard. So you say something like I come here and say that I'm just saying this. I'm not saying I don't mean it, but I'm saying it for the sake of conversation, right? I come here and I say that Mahama killed Mills and I'm picked up. And then you say what? Okay, go and give us the evidence. Then you say what? If I happen to be a Mahama enemy within NDC, then it's normal. But I happen to be, come on now. Let's get these things in context.
Anyway, yeah, so don't get distracted. You mentioned the three things.
So that is what I want to put across. Now,
right.
Let's get into the issues. Now, I want to respond to a lot of things Paul said that were not true. So NDC is against e-levy, but they say e-levy will send us into opposition. You see, that is a contradiction right there. If you want us to go into the e-levy, let us pass it and then you go there. Now, Paul is talking about security. Come on, Paul. Are you serious? They say, I have to add Peter to the Saul. Peter Paul Saul. Are you serious? Security? You see, if security is an issue, America, there should be a coup d'etat. Another country should take over security in this country. I am in Chicago. Do you know how many people are killed in this country? In this city? Every weekend? This weekend, do you know? When we go to certain places, you see, I live in those places. So I tell them, it is not what you think.
When I went to Ghana, when I sleep, I close one of my eyes and one of my eyes is open.
That's not true. You enjoy it. Paul, I know somebody that knows you. I know what you did. I can't tell them here, but I'll call you behind the scene and I'll tell you, I also want to go and enjoy some. So don't go there. I'm serious. So in fact, no. On a more serious note, right? Right. So this is security. It is not about the crime happening. It is the nation's response to the crime. And you've realized that in recent time, the police were able to coil like an attack on a bullion van. See, this is a plan. How can we prevent some of these things? You can't prevent crime from anywhere. Here, bank robbery and all those things do happen. Kidnapping, kids are getting kidnapped, right, left, center. 2-3 days ago in Chicago, 2 cops were shot, right? So these things do happen. But what is the city, the state, the federal's response to some of these things is very key. And what measures are you putting in to avoid these things? That is how you talk about security. It is not a crime. So, Paul, get that right. Okay, these things I don't know. Now, they should stop talking about absenteeism in Parliament. Like I said, and like this, Dr. Atto said, please, we don't have time. We have so many things to think about. Than your responsibility. Bring them back to us, opposition party. Your opponent is absent. You need a vote. Some of them, it will be a hands down win for you. So your number will increase. And you come and tell us you are still gathering evidence. So based on what did you make your conclusion? You see, these people don't pay attention to what they are saying. And Peter Paul Saul, you say stealing, thievery, 419, corruption, blah, blah, blah. Come on now. Okay, how do you put in Airbus, double salary? And the host of Sada, Juba, and all these kind of stuff.
Is trivial if you're looking at all the other things that we've seen under this government.
Exactly. So if you are a parent in the house, right, and you think that your son entered into the ram and stole a milk, so it is trivial. One day you will come and your $1,000 will not be there.
Yeah.
If you don't pay attention to the little things, the big things you can't handle. Nobody can pay rent if you cannot pay. If you cannot pay $100, that is what it is.
You already did the big things, but you're still going back to the trivial ones. That's the problem. I mean, we have this government.
What I'm saying is that Paul is talking about some other stuff. Why is he not talking about things that are within his circles? So that's what it is. Okay. No.
Also talk about PDS. Talk about PDS. Talk about
there's no infractions in PDS. There's no infractions in America. There's nothing like that. You see, if you want to know NDC, right, when it comes to taxes and corruption stuff, now go to 08. They said we have bank accounts. We are this, we are that under , but they came and they did not even prosecute a security officer. You see, it is at Kukuhilo. Kukuhilo, they sat down because Muhammad did communication.
Political class. None of you prosecute each other. I mean, all the
Oh,
things you said.
no. That's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true. Under the Fourth Republic, when we are talking about high-level corruption, it is only NDC people that have been put in jail.
Where are we with the Saglama issue? You took the guy to court one time and then you forgot about it.
It has not been concluded yet. It has not been concluded yet. It is still okay. If they are not feeling the pinch, they won't go. You see, that is why you have to watch them. If they are not feeling the pinch.
I remember we set up a fast track court in this country before. If it is important, let's
they come and they use some maneuvering to quash it. If they are not feeling the pain, they wouldn't have gone to the Commonwealth. You see, we are in a country, we have institutions, we are a sovereign nation, right? But because they are so corrupt and they don't want to face prosecution, they went to the Commonwealth. That we are persecuting them. Oh, really? Go to the court and answer. Go to the court and answer. If there are witches in any house, we will hunt those witches. I am telling you, witches ought to be hunted.
All right.
Now, they talk about IMF loan, right? See, we have to read a little bit, and sometimes we have to stop bothering ourselves with things that are not there. Oh, IMF and all this. The IMF said they are so satisfied with the money they gave Ghana that they're going to give us more. Have you read that report? Have you read that information? So please,
it's a lie.
Please, yeah, I'll send it to you. So please.
That report was written by you and Dr. Ato. So don't
Okay, no problem.
All right. So wrap up on your submission so we can bring this to an end.
Right. So in wrapping up, right, what I want us to know is that, if E-levy will be withdrawn, I don't have a problem. Paul, believe you me, if we are not able to pass E-levy, NDC should bring it at any percentage. Me, if I have to be sacked from my party, I will support NDC because we need it. It's an addition. We have to collect all the corruption
you don't think about the plight of the people.
What is the plight of the people? 3,000, 3,000 a month or 100 a day. And you say we are not thinking about the plight of the people? I mean, where can you get this?
We know the poor people are the ones who use that platform.
Oh, poor people in Ghana can do 3,000 Ghana city transaction. No, that's not poor.
It all goes back to the definition of poor, right?
Exactly. But come on now. Somebody is telling me that
you don't have to reach the monthly threshold. We are talking about the daily threshold alone. I mean, if you do 100,
the daily threshold is 100.
Yeah,
it's 100.
So are you telling me a poor person, anybody who transfers more than 100 a day is
okay,
a poor person?
So we are having a conversation. So it's not me. Now, somebody in Ghana tells me that he's paid 150, 300 Ghana cedis a month, but he's able to do transactions of 3,000, 10 times that in a month on his mobile phone.
That again is misleading. All the person have to do to be charged is transfer more than 100 a day.
Why are you doing 100? Okay, listen. Let's even go. I know somebody that takes 150 Ghana cedis. Okay. Let's even go twice that. 300 Ghana cedis. That is about the standard. Or 400 Ghana cedis a month. You take 400 Ghana cedis a month, and when you get it, you transfer everything. You don't do any daily stuff until the end of the month.
I mean, I'm not in everybody's situation, but it's possible.
Yes, but for the sake of argument, you say that it's possible, but that doesn't add up in a real sense of it.
It does.
It does up to you, but for me, it doesn't. So in the real sense of it, I believe that the government has put enough in place as far as E-levy is concerned to cushion us, as far as all these things are concerned. And so it's $100 a day, $3,000 a month. You fall out of that, I perfectly agree with that. It cushions the poor. You say you are not making money, but all of a sudden you are able to make 100 and 3,000 a month. That is fine.
See, it's not like you're not making money. So for instance, if I gave you, let's say I'm in the United States here, you oversee a property for me, and so I give you some money.
You're doing business. So let's end it right there. You're doing business.
You have to pay other people.
If somebody is overseeing a business, it's your property, you're doing business. You're building a house, you are in the business, you are business. Business is out. Business you in, you pay. Let us not entertain anything. You see, me, I'm saying that, you see, NDC should bring it. Me, when we go into opposition, me. Paul, if I don't support you, go to, which God is in your village? Which God?
No go.
Nukwajo. Go to Nukwajo and end my life. I'm telling you.
All right,
I will support you any day. Now,
okay.
let's a quick wrap up. A quick wrap up on the coup and this kind of stuff. Okay, so when you take those two lawyers,
so really we were just talking about the coup part. That is which one I wanted you to talk about. So
so when you take these two lawyers, they are lawyers, right? And then you mentioned the Constitution. Now, the article you read on all that, they are procedure that we are supposed to follow. They are the reason based on which you activate to. It doesn't say because of that, go to pick up a gun, or either the military or civilian, pick up a gun, go to the Flagstaff house, kill whoever is the president, and then put yourself there. No, that's not what it's saying. Okay, so if somebody is saying that if we don't take it, there's a coup, what that person is telling you that, oh, I see a problem, but I don't see a solution. I don't have one. I've never had one. I was in government before. I have policy credibility. So I went to the IMF. So I don't have anything. So all that I have is that I am just going to look there for this and that to happen. And that is a disappointment. And we cannot live in a country where we have the educated, the lawyers, the dean of the faculties, and all these people giving us these as reason for which there should be a instability in the country. That cannot be accepted.
The Constitution said the same thing. The Constitution says exactly the same thing. It says if the president conducts himself that is in a way inimical to the economy, he should be removed. So
yeah, but okay. So the removal there is no coup, because in the Constitution describes that removal. So let's get that right. So anybody that calls for that illegal, irresponsible of removing the president, that person is irresponsible, and we must tell him that. That person is thinking outside the box. That person must think within the box. A lawyer cannot call for a coup. It's unacceptable.
You should look at the context too, right? What they are saying is that
you can interpret it the way. I don't have a problem with your interpretation of what you said. But me here, what I want Tukuba to say is that, okay, so I was in a previous government that is also want to come into government. So if we were there, we would have done this. But your government performed worse. And you are telling them that what is better needs coup. That you should have been overthrown long time ago. But we should not be allowing coup to come. Haven't you seen what coup can do? Coup is dangerous. In fact, the people that come to coup, they are very, very dangerous. Don't entertain them. They are liars. They will come, they will kill your mom, they will kill your dad, they will shut up everything in the country. We cannot even have this and be free going to Ghana. You talk about culture of silence, let the coup come, and you see if you can talk.
And people say,
God bless us.
All right, the Dankwa-Buzia tradition was the first people to actually conduct a coup in this country. So
no, that's not true. No, that's not true. That's the interpretation, but that's not true.
1966 goes back.
Okay, the 1962 school was caused by Dankwa-Buzia. The military was the Dankwa-Buzia.
They were part of the people.
Oh, so Bedema, all the people that were mentioned, Bedema, the IGP, and all those people were Dankwa-Buzia.
Bedema was in Nkrumah's government. We're talking about.
Yeah, but don't you know that Bedema were all accused as being part of planning to. Come on now. If we know the history of the country, we wouldn't come and be saying some of these things we said. Don't you know that the first finance minister was accused of overthrowing the government? You don't know that?
No, I don't know that. But anyway.
Oh, you don't know that? Oh, yeah, okay. That's the new information for you. The Magite, the IGP then, they were all accused. They were removed. Yes.
I mean, after
the history, right?
You overthrown the government.
1966 was overthrown by the military, not the civilian. 1966 was overthrown by the military, not the civilian.
Okay. All right. Fireworks. Let's go. All right. Thank you, Efa. Now let's transition to. I want to kind of tame it down a little bit with lifetime legacy, and then we'll come to more fire from Paul. And then we would then go to Ato and bring the program to an end. So far, legacy.
Alfred, I need to step out. I need to step out with the boys. Can I do my submission and then I can?
Okay. Dr. Toto was saying something. You will come, Paul. But
No,
Dr.
I
Toto
only
says
said you said you wanted to take me down with Lifetime. I'm surprised you used.
no. I'm saying. There's a lot of hits from FA. So
Yeah, he's gonna add more hits. Come on,
You see,
okay, let's go, Paul.
If I was just making noise, nothing more than noise. You see, impatient and indecisiveness, and then visionless, aimless, directionless. Credibilityless is what is affecting this government. Look, if you are a government that have confidence in you and you believe that what you are doing is right, when people make statements, you will not suppress some people's statement and try to go after them. This president that we are talking about, who claims himself to be a human rights lawyer,
right,
in 2016, spoke about the Arab Spring. Who went after him? His current head of security at the presidency in the Jubilee House, Captain Budukumsin, in 2016, spoke about coup. There's an imminent of coup to happen or bound to happen. Who went after him? This should tell you the difference between an autocratic and vindictive president as against a president who is focused, who accepts divergent opinion. Now, if I is here making a lot of noise, look, this lawyer or Dr. Atuguba and then Vama or whatever they call him,
yeah,
they are expressing their view, and all they said it in a contest. Okay, there are other people, okay, who have said similar things. Professor H. Prempre, why haven't they gone after him? You see how this government, how selective they are. When you are against them and you say anything, they will come after you. But if you are for them, they see nothing wrong with it. Look at this. They are Bron and how is it Bron?
Bronya.
Abronye. What has Abronye not said? I'm just trying to make the point over here that this Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government is a government that does not even have a vision. They are directionless. They don't have credibility. Integrity is gone. All they know is to put or use autocratic and suppress of people's freedom of right. And that this human rights government, we have people from his party, people he trained, people that he went and paid money for missionaries to come and train to go after judges who are sitting in their court. And if I don't have the gas to talk about it, and he's here talking about Dr. Atuguba and then Vomao. You see, when our old people say that a decorated monkey can never change its look, he will ever remain to be a monkey. No matter how you're going to degrade Nana, you're going to decorate Nanado to look handsome, to look good, he still remains to be a monkey.
No, he doesn't. Don't say that.
No. I'm not saying person. I'm trying to say, look.
Words matter. Words matter.
Nanado is a vindictive president. He's a president who think he will come after you if you say anything after him. You know the reason why when I went to Ghana, I was not joining the program, because if I speak my mind, they can come after me.
Right.
That is why I decided not to join the program, and I told you. But in Mahama's era, my good brother Ifa, I've been on different shows with him. He has said a whole lot of things about Mahama. He goes to Ghana, he's free to walk about. What am I saying over here? All I'm saying is that Nanado is intolerant. He's an autocratic person. He's very wicked, vindictive, and he's always ready to go after the people who speak against him.
Right.
And I am saying over here that the cool statement that Professor Dr. Atuguba made, he's rather trying to caution them. He stated in his statement that he is against coup, but due to circumstances and situation, it can happen. Right. And I'm telling you that when you go to the ground, just 3 days ago, I came out from Ghana. When you go to the ground, things are not good. People are really complaining. So if you have people who are raising the red light and telling you that sit up,
and then you want to go after them, that's up to him. I want Ifa and Dr. to know that power is continuous. They will never be in power.
Forever.
2024, inshallah, whether Dr. Ato become the vice president spokesperson or the president spokesperson, they will go to opposition. And we will investigate every corruption that has happened under there. And I am happy that my good brother, if I when a question was posed to him that what is the things that he said this government, he said corruption, he mentioned corruption. And corruption is a hallmark on this government. I will end here and say that Dr. Ato is suffering, Ifa is suffering, Alfred is suffering, Kaya units are suffering, fishermen are suffering, doctors are suffering. Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo himself, he's suffering. He should sit up. Thank you.
Well, he's actually riding beautiful private jets, so you can say he's suffering.
Yeah, he's running a private jet.
All right.
He's suffering.
Okay, let's go to
paying $15,000 an hour. And when we talk about it, Dr. Ato come and sit here and tell us what is the alternative. The alternative is that he should use the private jet that is sitting on a tarmac that we bought for our money. It is sitting there. He should use it and stop wasting the taxpayers' resource and the money we are giving to him. He should use the money judicially.
I was going to say that.
On that note, Dr. Ato, just jump in here. Go ahead.
I think that this would come up with solutions about what they will come and do differently. But up to now, you hear them.
Mahama is going to use the jet sitting down on the tarmac. If Mahama become the president today, he's going to use the jet sit down on the tarmac.
I can see Mahama buying another plane anyway.
Mahama will never buy a new plane. He will not do. I will even come after him when he does that.
I was saying,
okay.
I thought by now the NDC, knowing very well the economy is suffering, would come up with ideas, solutions, what they will come do differently. But I've listened to Paul numerous.
I've given you a lot of solutions. One of the solutions is that Nanado should stop operating private jets. Number one. Number two, he should stop putting his seat that he sit on in a V8. Do you know how much I spent my tank today?
Those are the minimum. Those are little things.
To fill my tank. He should stop it. Number three, Nanado should stop going around commission toilets. Toilets are for assemblymen. He should stop it. Number four, you want to go number four? Nanado should stop the stealing. He should stop the thievery, and also make sure that he stop clearing his appointees when they are caught in corruption scandal. I'm giving for instance why.
So I thought just go ahead with your presentation if you can.
So you heard him. He didn't come up to say what the NDC would do differently. He just
I'm not going to tell you. You say you have the men. I am not going to tell you. When we come to government, we'll tell you what we want to do.
Let him go.
Thank you.
I think I agree with all in the sense that right now we are in difficult times. The economy is not as we want it to be. Right. But I have observed, because in America, even in America, gas, if you're going to use gas prices as a yardstick to judge your government, it's just like using the stock markets. It will betray you all the time. So I don't know why politicians use that all the time. I mean, let's talk about the IGP. I think he's being selective. The IGP, I have been saying this for some time now, that he's being selective. Although people are hailing him, I am a critic of him. I thought he was going to come do a good job.
Right.
He arrested medical for
it's disappointed us.
Yes, for just welding against something like that. But then and I feel Schwarzenegger did the same thing. He didn't go do anything about it.
Right.
I mean, this day and age, someone accuses the president's wife of something, and then you go and arrest him. It's like it doesn't make any sense. It's like we repealed the criminal libel law, so you think that it will be civil process. It should not be a criminal matter where the IGP gets involved to arrest a journalist talking about the president's wife. And I'm disappointed. And if he was not selective, he would have picked up Atuguba. Because what Vomowo said, it's similar to what Atuguba is saying. So if you arrest Vomowo, if you arrest Abronde, then you should arrest Atuguba. I feel comfortable talking about people who and stuff like, because I know, like my parents have told me who did to them, who did to their parents, and how they suffered through. So I'm uncomfortable when people, and like we have a history, especially in Africa, we have a history, especially when we have people using tribal sentiments against one another. And it's sad. It's sad that even Mahama and even Akufo, people have used tribal sentiments just because it comes from people. And I don't think it's a good tangent that we should follow as Ghanaians.
Right.
I mean, we should talk about the issues. Just like Paul talking about someone carrying a chair around and stuff like that. Those are semantics. Those shouldn't be part of it. I mean, I feel like as Atuguba right now should come up with solutions. Tell us the solutions. Because we all know, like I said, we all know the problems. Gas prices are going up. The dollar is rising and the city is falling.
But see, why is saying that he's just speaking up the same way the clergy spoke up and the former president and so many people spoke up about issues.
I know, but
and all of a sudden everybody just went dead
silent. Solve the problem. That's we all know the problems.
I mean, you said the same thing to the last time when the clergy and all these other people were criticizing and just discussing the
difference is that Baumia deceived us in saying that he was going to come and change everything.
Right.
But so he came up with solutions when he comes, what he was going to do, although it didn't come to pass. But I'm saying that all these speakers and stuff like that, they're only talking about like the problems. We know the problems already. We know the economy is not doing well. So if you have been in government before, or you think that you have solutions to us for us, come and tell us the solutions.
You think the citizens should have the right to speak on whatever issue they want to speak about?
Of course. Okay. But if you are in academia, you are a professor of a university. You cannot just come and just tell us the problems. Like I said,
I mean, he has that choice. We can gag him, you know.
We're not going to gag him. Yes, but we can criticize him. We can
criticize him. Of course.
I mean, as a professor, you come up, you tell us the problem. Like I'm saying, the poor man on the streets knows the problem, but we don't know how to get out of this.
How to fix it.
That's what I'm saying. A professor should come up with solutions. If you don't have solutions, then why tell us the problems? We know the problems already. But then if you could tell us the problems, then you're also hinting that there may be a coup. It's like, I think you should be picked up. Because if you're picking up Vomowo, and last point about Vomowo, I think it's lawyers, like the judges said, should not be doing an intellectual exercise. Your client is in custody. Instead of you filing a bail for him, you are thinking about semantics.
Right.
Why that?
Well, I think the wrong court is is hearing the case, you know, that the case should be heard by.
Yeah, but if you think that your client is in custody,
right,
where would that get you to?
Well, it doesn't mean you have to cooperate with the wrong courts. You know, you wanna. I mean, these are lawyers too, right? Even the client is a lawyer himself. He wants to test this.
No. We've heard that the client is a lawyer, but I've never read anywhere where he was called to the bar. He attended law school.
Yeah, I think he went to, you know, of course, if you're giving call in the I don't know how it works, but if you're calling the UK, you are also equally called in.
Do you know if he's been called to the bar in any other states?
In the UK?
No, anywhere.
I would suspect so, but anyway, he's referred to himself as a lawyer. So.
But I know that he's gone to law school, but I don't know if he has only been called
to the bar.
Yeah. But I'm saying that right now, as we talk right now, he is still in custody. So why would I'm not a lawyer, but I'm saying, reading from what the judges said, you should be thinking about your clients. The first thing is to get them bail.
Right. Your client should be a priority.
You go to court and you discuss other issues. I mean, the last point is that.
But they also go on the instruction of the client, so you don't know what the instruction the client was giving them. So perhaps that was the instruction the client gave them.
So but I'm also criticizing that point that your client is that's a big case in Ghana. People are talking about that. You would think that instead of you arguing about which court to deal with situations, you think about your client first. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. The lawyer usually take instructions from the client, right? They just don't do what they want to do.
That is not entirely true because your lawyer is giving you legal advice how to proceed.
But you have to instruct. Yeah, they tell you what they want you to fight for them. So if the client says, "Listen, go and fight for them with regards to the court they took me to," because that court lacks jurisdiction over my case, that's what I'm gonna go fight for. I can't do anything else. Yeah.
I mean, I beg to differ, but I would agree with you. But
Right.
in nutshell, what I would say is that going forward, we should be thinking about solutions on how to get this economy better. Because right now we are suffering.
Right.
The gas prices are going up. We have the city is falling. But me has not been able to change anything in regards to the economy. But then you cannot discount COVID. You cannot discount Russia, Ukraine issues coming up. So we have to tighten our belts because it's going to be difficult for us.
Yeah.
Because like I said, Russia produces 10% of the world's oil.
Right.
So it definitely would affect the prices. So we're going to see an increase in prices until all this is over.
All this is over. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for, taking the time again and hitting the road just so you can talk to us. We really appreciate it. Okay, let's look at lifetime legacy. Lifetime legacy.
Alfred, for me, any person who
first of all, they say you are receiving some e-levy, and you want to clarify that before you leave.
I would like to thank Dr. Atu for the compliment. I'm not a fan of e-levy. So anywhere I hear the name e-levy, let me say my body is anti-e-levy. It is just by the grace that I am doing well.
All right.
Well, Alfred, any person who will insult or will say something against Dr. or Professor Tuguba, for me, lack sense of objectivity. I say this because you can't choose and pick whatever suits you. MPP are being mischievous and diabolic. And for me, I am not surprised because they perceive Dr. Raymond Atuguba as an NDC person for that matter. Even if he's making sense.
He's an NDC man. It's not like it's perceived to be.
Even if he's making sense, they are not interested in looking at the substance of the issue. They are trying to trivialize whatever he's saying and make nothing out of it. Why am I saying this? That same person who is giving the president advice also go ahead to use that same podium to support the e-levy. So in one breath, they support his call on the e-levy. Okay, but
that doesn't negate the reckless comments of Koo, right?
I don't consider that statement as reckless. The person make a conditional statement. He said, if. Since when did the word if become a definite statement? I'm not good when it comes to English. My grammar is not good. Okay. But I heard the person saying if. So since when did the word if became a definite statement? I don't know if I'm making sense to you.
Yeah, he said Ghana is ripe for, he says, from what he's learned following his friend who did a research on the topic using Ghana as a case, that Ghana may be ripe for coup. Ghana may be ready for a coup. Based on the economic factors.
You see, if we want to be genuine in this criticism, the person is putting out there an intellectual exercise that have been done. Okay, and research that have been done. If we want to be fair to him, we need to go for those materials and see what the contents of the materials are. You get it? For all you know, the person may have spoken to somebody who was part of the 66 coup, somebody who is part of the 79 coup, somebody who is part of the 89 coup. Do you get it? For all we know, the person who did the research may have even spoken to Rawlings to know why he conducted the coup. You get it? So if we go for this material and there is no merit in it, then we can come and criticize or question the statement he made. And he's not speaking on authority. He is saying that this is what a research somebody have done. Since when did research and academic exercise become an evil thing? Since when?
Right. All right, we got 1 more minute. Let's wrap it up.
You get it. So any person who will insult the man is being disingenuous and being hypocritical, because that same person says that e-levy should be passed. He support the e-levy because as part of providing solution for the inevitable or for the coup not to happen, he has provided a solution.
Right.
We are accepting the solution, but we are not accepting the conditions that come when something is not done about it.
Right.
I think that hypocritical way of doing things will not take us anywhere.
Okay.
For me, that is what I would say as far as Rema Tugima issue is concerned.
Thank you so much. All right. So you've heard it. Like we said a couple of weeks back, if you are in a position with a lot of power on a big platform, that you should be, I'll speak very responsibly. The coup matter seems to be something that when your government is in power, or when your government is not in power and things seem to be going wrong, or things seems not to be going your way, or the economy seems to hit a little patch, then all of a sudden we hear these coup talks all the time. Instead of talking about coup, I think we should be working together. We should be working together to continue to build our Ghana and make it stronger than it is. That will be my last word for the day. And I thank you all for joining and watching the show. I think I have a lot more of comments here that I wasn't able to read. I apologize for that. Our time has run out. We've actually overdone or did more than 1 additional hour than we planned, or we did 1 hour extra than we actually planned to do. So let me take the opportunity to say a big thanks to all the guests who came on and all the presentations they gave us today. We've learned a lot from the discussions, and I hope that our politicians are listening and that the right thing is done as far as the absenteeism is concerned, and also that at 65 years of age as a country, we should be reflecting on our development agendas, and we should be working together to build a stronger Ghana that would provide benefit for all of us. On that note, I say thanks for watching. Again, we'll be back next week. If it is Saturday, you know what time it is. It's Ghana Agenda, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are in the Central region, it's going to be 1 p.m. Central Time. If you're in the West Coast, that would be 11. Is it 11? Yeah, that will be 11 a.m. on the West Coast. If you're in Ghana, 7 p.m. Again, my name is Alfred Amuzu. Thanks for watching. We would be back next week to discuss. We thought the president was going to do the State of the Union, so we're planning for the State of the Union this week, but we understand that that has been suspended indefinitely. So we'll be, eyes wide open, looking forward to that. Whenever the announcement comes that he's going for that, we would make sure we'll bring that to you. But in the meantime, we'll return on Saturday to discuss other very important issues that may have come up within the week. Again, my name is Alfred Amuzu. Thanks for watching the Ghana Agenda. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Just one more pic, JJ, please.
Oh, Mama. Really?
Smile. It's not every day my eldest son graduates.
I couldn't have done it without you.
All without Auntie Jane's generous support.
Here is to Auntie Jane's well-appreciated World Remit money transfers.
World Remit Corporation is licensed as a money transmitter by the New York State Department of Financial Services as a foreign transmittal agency by the Massachusetts Division of Banks, number FT 1179663, and licensed by the Georgia Department of Banking and Finance, NMLS 1179663. Massachusetts Foreign